I said what I said. Oh, hey, Classic. Welcome to the stream. We'll get started here soon. I don't want to wait too long. I'm alive. Yeah, I see. It's good to see you. Slightly fortunate. Hey, it's very fortunate you're alive. All lives are beautiful, and everyone matters. Except for, like, Hitler, you know? And, like, people like Hitler. But, like, you're not Hitler, so you're chill. Today's Sadako's birthday? That's splendid. I hope we see some of her today. She doesn't make too many appearances in this game. Same with Rika, but when they both do, it's joyous. Because they're little critters. Do I matter? Of course. You're not Hitler. You're like halfway between a normal person and Hitler. I'm kidding. Yeah, you better correct. No, everyone here. I don't think we have any Hitlers in chat. So everyone here is chill. Hi, Pokin. Welcome to the stream. Halfway, I was kidding. All right. You know, we'll just get right to it. Half-Life? Yeah. That's actually a teaser. We're gonna stream Half-Life tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. Last we left off, antics. We didn't do the tips, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Here we go.
だから初めましてじゃないですって。昨日まで毎日お会いしてたじゃないですか。
Stop saying it's been a while. We see each other every day up until yesterday, haven't we?
もういい。お前がそうだって言うなら、そういうことでいい。
Whatever. If you say so, we'll go with that. Someone from Shion's house came to get me in a station wagon. I had initially refused, but Shion insisted, and so both my bicycle and I ended up stuffed in the car. Said car was currently driving across the single bumpy road leading to Hinamizawa. For goodness sake. Shion was at Mion's level at least, maybe an even better actor. Either way, no matter what question I pressed her with, she'd slip out of them like an eel.
しかし、そっくりだな。ミオンみたいに髪を後ろで結んだら、やっぱりミオンそっくりになるのか
Still, you two look so alike. If you tied your hair back like Mion does, would you look exactly like her?
さあ、試せばそうなるんじゃないですか。
Who knows? That's probably what would happen.
私たち筋金入りの一卵性ですから。
We're identical twins through and through.
昔は服を取り替えっこしただけで誰も見破れなかったものです。
In the past, we could just change our clothes and no one would be the wiser.
お姉と一緒に断るごとに入れ替わっていろいろと騙したりしましたっけ。
I remember we'd swap places at every opportunity and fooled a whole lot of people. The middle-aged driver wearing a black suit heaved a heavy sigh like he were a butler.
なあにかさえ、その深いため息は。
What's wrong, Kasai? That was a pretty deep sigh.
失礼しました。昔から変わられないなと思っただけですよ。
Excuse me. I was just thinking that you haven't changed. You could see many years of hardship on the man's face through the rearview mirror.
それより、ケイちゃんの家ってこっちでいいんですか？葛西はその先本家の道以外はひなみ沢をよく知らないから。
Anyway, Kei-chan, your house was around here, right? Kasai doesn't know much about Hinamizawa aside from the road that goes to the Sonozaki main house.
任せておくと 矢後地あたりまで走ってっちゃいますよ。
You love this guy? You love our chauffeur? You give it to him. He'll take you all the way to Yagochi.
そりゃ困る。すみません。次の右に入る細い道のところで止めてください。
I don't remember him showing up this early. He comes back? I don't want that. Excuse me, could you stop at that narrow road at the next right?
そこまでで結構です。
I'll walk from there. He stopped the car at the desired place. The driver, Kasai-san, got my bike out of the trunk for me.
あ、どうもすみません。今日は送ってもらってありがとうございます。
Sorry about that. Thank you very much for showing me home today. Oh shit! He gets a sprite! He's tall. What do you look like? Whoa! That remake sprite's crazy. What do you look like? Oh my god, that original sprite is awesome. Wow, this dude's design fucks. Oh, they all change his tie. He gets the skull tie in the remake? That's insanity. Oh my god. He gets the G-Man cut in the console version. That's my fucking goat. Alright. I'll believe you. Was it Kei-san? Your name, that is.
あ、はい。
Yes.
いろいろと災難はあると思いますが、そのうち飽きると思いますので、どうかそれまでご辛抱ください。
You must be having various difficulties, but I believe she will grow tired soon, so please endure things until then. He gave me a deep, deep look of sympathy. This guy has definitely been dealing with the Sonozaki sisters ever since they were little kids.
ですが、ミオンさんと同じで、根は優しい方なんですよ。
However, like Mion-san, she's a kind person at heart.
それはつまり、ミオン並みに迷惑をかけるやつだということですか。
So that means she'll be as much of a bother as Mion, right? The man's face froze in a smile, his reply lost. Hey, back me up here.
じゃあね、ケイちゃん。また会いましょうね。お姉にもよろしくお伝えください。
Bye, Kei-chan. We'll see each other again soon. Say hi to my sister for me, too.
私も明日からひなみ沢の学校に通おうかな。
Maybe I'll start going to Himizawa tomorrow.
絶対に来るな。シオンが転校してきたら、俺が沖宮の学校に転校するから。
Don't you dare. If you transferred in, I'd transfer out to a school in Okinomiya.
それはすごくひどいことですよ、ケイちゃん。
Oh, that was really mean, Kei-chan. Yeah, dude, how could you? A short beep of the horn. The man gave a little wave to me from the driver's seat. Then, the car withdrew into the dark night roads, leaving dust in its wake. Man, this entire day made no sense. I ran into Mion while I was with Shion, and the former's expression, like a pigeon shot with a pellet gun, had finally begun to make a strong impression on me. What a day. What a day. I'm not over it. We know how to deal with the consequences. The next day. It was a strange day where Mion was desperate to regain her composure. Yeah, can we, like... Me and Mion gotta have a discussion. Mario and Luigi game, but it says it's Mion and Shion and they still talk in the made-up Italian language. This seems like a fun, wholesome game. It is. Every time our eyes met, she would say that she had something to do or that she had to use the washroom and run off. Unable to just watch, Rena was taking care of her the entire time.
今日のミオンさん、徹底的に変ですわね。
Happy birthday, Sadako, I think. Someone claimed it's your birthday. Mion-san, she's acting totally strange today.
一部始終を知ってはいるんだが、なんとも説明しづらい。
I know the whole story, but it's hard to explain.
女の子には不安定になる時もあるのです。
There are times when girls are emotionally unstable. Thank you, Rika.
放っておいてあげるのが一番なのですよ。
It's best to just leave her alone. Is that a child? Yes, these two are both children. I mean, everyone in this game is a child. Except for the not children. Like, Uishi. That looks like a child. Well, they are. They're like, what, they're like 10, 11. This is one of those schools where they got the older kids and the younger kids put together because it's a small town. Those two are best friends. I know it. No, they are. They hang out constantly. Turn around. I saw Rena calling me from the hallway. No wonder what it was. See, these two kids, I adore them. They're like my children. Although they are both rascals. Let me make that clear. The right one? Well, both of them are fucking demons. But they're funny, so we let it slide. Such is the nature of children. Keiichi-kun, over here, over here.
なんだよ。こんなとこに呼んで。
What is it calling me over like this?
内緒話か?
Is it a secret?
その災難だったみたいだね。
That is... It looks like it was a disaster. You don't say. Yeah.
みーちゃん、かなり壊れてたけど、なんとか直しておいたから。
Mii-chan seemed pretty broken, but I somehow got her working again.
よく直せたな。
I'm surprised you managed it.
一体どうやって?
How did you exactly?
テレビと同じ。
Same way I do with the television.
斜め45度くらいの角度で、えいって。
Just come at it from a 45-degree angle and hi-ya! Saying that, she made a chopping motion. You know I can't tell if you're joking or not, right?
明日からは大丈夫だから。
She'll be fine by tomorrow.
だけど、ケイチ君にもお願いしたいことがあるの。
Also, there's something I want you to do, Keiichi-kun.
悪気はないんだが、なぜ
Guys,
か
what
罪の意
happened
識は
last stream? I can't even begin to tell you. If I had to summarize, Mion, green hair girl, greenish bluish hair girl. We met someone claiming to be her twin sister named Shion. Shion was the girl we were just saying goodbye to in that tip where we were getting dropped off. That's Shion. She's the one with her hair down. Mion's the one with her hair up. This entire time, we were under the impression that Shion and Mion were actually the same person. Because they're very similar, they both know similar things, and every time they're confronted, they're like, oh, well, you know, I just heard it from my sister. But, like, the game was making it supposed to look like they are the same person, and Mion is just putting on an alternate persona. But then we go on a date with Shion, and she takes us to a shop, and Mion is there as the cashier. And so everyone freaks out, except for Shion, because she knew and was fucking with us, I think. So, yeah, this whole time we thought we were on a date with our friend, but it was some stranger. So, yeah. That's what happened. I didn't mean to do anything wrong, but I still feel guilty.
何でも聞くぞ。
I'm listening.
助かる。
Thanks.
みーちゃんはね、昨日までの数日間のこと、なかったことにするから。
You see, Mii-chan is just going to pretend the last few days never happened. Never happened, huh? I see. That's one way to run from it.
だからね。
It's a complex situation. A lot happened. So you
ケ
see,
イチ君もなかったことにしてあげて。
Keiichi-kun, could you pretend too?
それでみーちゃん、いつも通りだから。
And I thought something wild and insane happened? Not yet. Could you pretend too? Then Mii-chan can go back to normal.
そんな簡単なことで本当に大丈夫なのか?
Damn, Robot severely fucked me up. I don't blame you. It's done the same to me. Just doing something as simple as that. Is it really gonna be okay?
お願いだから、みーちゃんの心の整理がつくまで、そっとしておいてあげてよ。
Please, until Mii-chan gets her feelings in order, just go with it.
わかったよ。
Okay, I got it. Even though I shouldn't have been at fault, for some reason I felt guilty. The one at fault here was the one who knew about the entire situation and pretended to be Mion for an entire day. Shion. But never once said she was Mion. Ugh. What am I supposed to be angry at? That's so true, bro. Seeing me stomping the ground impatiently, Rena giggled.
でもケイチ君も分かったでしょ
But Keiichi-kun, you knew as well.
みーちゃんにも可愛いところがあるんだって
Mi-chan has some cute things about her. Rena talked in a calm voice as her hair rustled in the wind.
あ
Yeah,
あ、退屈しないやつだということが分かった。
I know that she'll never let it be boring.
よかった
Good. Following this curt reply, Rena looked up at the sky and stretched. I cannot trust cute anime games with a nearly all teenage cast without something absolutely absurd
この
happening.
数日間の出来事は
That's fair.
すぐに笑い話になるんだよ
As long as you realize that, Keiichi-kun, these past few days will be nothing more than a story to laugh about. Copying Rena, I also began to stretch as I looked at the sky. The clear sky towered into the distance.
今日は部活も何もなし
Do you know what happened last chapter? No spoilers. I will give one spoiler for chapter 1, though. We did dig out a Colonel Sanders statue from a dump. And that was fun. There's no club activities or anything today.
今日だけは申し訳ないけどケイチ君下校は一人でいいかな
I'm sorry, Keiichi-kun, but just for today, can you go home by yourself?
明日からは元通りだから今日だけ
It'll all be back to normal by tomorrow, so just for today, okay? If all it took for everything to go back to normal was to leave me on alone for today, then it was an easy decision to make.
分かったよ。
Got it.
ミオンに面と向かって言えないからレナに言っとく。
I can't say it directly to Mion, so I'll say it to you.
なんだか申し訳ないな。謝る。
I still feel kind of guilty about it, so I want to apologize.
うーん
No.
元はといえばケイチ君が無神経なことを言うからいけなかったんだよね
The root of the problem with Keiichi-kun saying something insensitive, right? Dude, is this game just actually a good, wholesome, funny game? As far as I'm aware.
これに懲りて少しはデリカシーってものを身につけるんだよ
So if you learned anything from this, you need to look a bit into gaining a sense of delicacy.
へいへい、努力します。
Right, I'll try. That day was the shortest day of my life. Rena was talking to Mion while accompanying her around the entire time. It looked like a really fun conversation, so I reflectively thought about joining in, but I had made a promise not to. It seemed that Mion was also trying her best to ignore me. I will say though, Classic, you're probably really confused because you don't know these casts of characters, so it probably, if you have the time, it would be worth checking out the previous streams. You'll get to see us dig Colonel Sanders out of a landfill. Well, you don't get to see it because this game isn't like animated or anything, but it happens. We do it. So likewise, I did my best to ignore her. We also went to a festival, because all these kinds of games do that thing. That was fun. We won prizes. For the first time in a while, I ate lunch alone. Mion and Rena ate theirs by themselves. As I let out a sigh in my ashen mood, Rika-chan came over and patted me on the head. What up,
ケイ
kid?
チもミーもいっぱいいっぱいお勉強しましたですね
Both Keiichi and me learned a whole lot. I'd never say it like that. It made it sound like we were having romantic problems. I didn't like that one bit. When talking mode was on, I haven't seen him. Where is he at? Show me my man. Hopefully the teacher wouldn't notice and call us to the staff room after school or something.
きっとケイチは素敵な大人になれますですよ
I'm sure that Keiichi will grow up to be a wonderful adult. Thanks, Rika.
なでなで
リカちゃんはお勉強家だからすごい素敵な大人になれそうだな。
Rika-chan is the studious type, so maybe he'll grow up to be an amazingly wonderful adult.
もちろんなのですよ
Of course.
僕は大人になったらすごいのです
When I grow up, I'll be super amazing. Yeah, that's so true. What about you?
私も大人になったらすごいレディーになるんですのよ。
My, when I grow up, I'll be an amazing lady, you know? Uh-huh.
さとこはいくつになってもお子様だと思うぞ。かけてもいい。
No matter how old you get, you'll still be a brat. You can put money on it.
なんですって？
What did you say? Asatoko snapped her fingers. A wash basin fell from above, hitting me squarely in the head.
いってー。
Silly music time. Ow.
何しやがんだ、さとこ。
What do you think you're doing, Satoko? Oh, I think I'm being attacked. It was a day I could thoroughly appreciate the value of having friends. Hey, your friends are like 8-year-olds, bro. Get it together. No friend group is complete without at least one little shit. That's my words of wisdom for the day. My fuck-ass house that looks like it was made by a rookie to The Sims 4. Today was Saturday, so school ended in the blink of an eye. It really felt good to go home when the sun's so high in the sky. On any other day, our club would have been up to mischief during our ample after-school time, but today Rika-chan had a rehearsal for tomorrow's Watanagashi to go to.
リカちゃんはどんな調子？
It's almost festival time again. Oh my goodness. How's that going, Rika-chan?
練習はバッチリ。
You have it down in practice?
去年よりは頑張りますです。
I'll try harder than last year.
去年は終わった後、ヘトヘトの汗だらけだったんだよね。
You were so exhausted and sweaty after last year's ceremony.
今年はもっともっと様になってますわよ。
She'll look far more fit for the role this year.
特訓の成果、ご期待あそばせですの。
Please look forward to the fruits of her training. The Watanagashi festival everyone had been talking about was tomorrow, wasn't it? The festival being in June felt a little early to me, but the onset of summer came quickly this year, so it fit the image of a summer festival pretty well.
じゃあ僕たちは失礼しますです。
Okay, we'll be off then.
明日を楽しみになさいませ。
Look forward to tomorrow.
それではごきげんようですわ。
Good day to you all. It wasn't too long ago one of the streams we had was like only a day or so off from the real Watanagashi date, right? We barely missed it, I think, for like the last stream or the one before it. Satoko and Rika-chan waved to us energetically, then left.
そういえば聞いてなかったんだけど、祭り会場ってどこなんだ？
You know, I never asked. Where's the festival happening anyway?
この辺って祭りのできそうな場所なんてあったっけ？
I don't remember there being anywhere around here that seemed suited for hosting one.
フルデ神社でやるんだよ。
They do it at the Furude Shrine.
ほら、以前にみんなでお散歩した時に行ったでしょ。
We went there for a walk one day, remember?
あの見晴らしの良かったところ。
It was that place with a really good view. Oh, right, I remember. There's a shrine all the way up on that hill, wasn't there? It seemed far too grand for Hinamizawa.
神社には立派な集会所とかもあって、老人会のカラオケとか習字サークルの会合とかを時々やってるからね。
There's a great meeting hall in the shrine, too. The older people get together there and sing karaoke or practice calligraphy from time to time.
単なる神社というよりは公共施設のような雰囲気だね。
It's more like a recreational facility than a simple shrine.
なるほどね。
I see.
それなら立派なのも納得かな。
I guess it makes sense that it looks so grand then.
みーちゃんちも今日の設営にはお手伝いに行くの？
You know, Mion is really close to wearing a SpongeBob fit. And that's true. Hey, Chen, is your family gonna help set up today?
男手がいるからね。
Yep, we have male hands for that.
町から親類が大勢手伝いに来るよ。
Most of our relatives come from town to help. Male hands, huh? Well, I mean, I have nothing to do at home today, so...
俺みたいのが飛び入りで参加すると、かえって邪魔になるか？
Would it be a problem if I squirm my way in there to help out too?
え？
Huh?
ケイちゃん、手伝いに来てくれるの？
You wanna help us, Kei-chan?
迷惑なら行かねえよ。
Not if it'll bother you all.
単なる興味だからさ。
I was just kind of interested. We had bond dances and other festivals in the town I used to live in, but I didn't even know where they took place, much less wanted to help. You could say that I had absolutely no connection to the region. Having come to Hinamizawa, though, it really made me feel like this place was a home that I'd return to. Before I knew it, I harbored a little interest in the small community activity of preparing for a festival the day before. I wonder if you'll be able to, Keiichi-kun. Sponge me on? No, it is close, isn't it? There's a lot of building tents and setting up chairs. I hear it's pretty hard physical labor.
別に俺一人でやるわけじゃないだろ。
I mean, I wouldn't be doing it alone, right?
みんなでやればきっと早いぜ。
The more hands we have, the faster it'll go. Mion looked happy to hear that, but at the same time, her expression was complex, tinged with hesitation. Rena gave her the last push for me. It's decided then. You should go for it, Keiichi-kun. He's all yours, Mii-chan. Put him through the ringer. Well, I can't argue with a recommendation from Rena. Okay then, go home first, put on some work clothes, and come to the shrine. Oh, and you might want to bring a towel to wipe your sweat too.
よし来た。
Got it.
俺こう見えても太陽の下で汗をかくの嫌いじゃないんだぜ。
I may look scrawny, but I actually quite like breaking a sweat under the hot sun. Careful you don't hurt your back, okay? Right, enough of my old man spiel. I'll go to the shrine too as soon as I've changed. Mii-chan, you do your best too. Bye-bye. Mion waved vigorously to us and left. As far as I could tell from her gallant retreating figure, she seemed to have recovered from the weak state she had yesterday. Girls are quick to get over things. Mii-chan is already fine. Right.
あれだけ綺麗に切り替えてくれるとこっちも実に合わせやすい。
Her switching back to normal so cleanly really makes it easy for me to talk to her. It was kind of funny though, wasn't it? Kind of like Cinderella. Like, you can't meet her anymore once the magic wears off. Rena began to giggle a fair bit in amusement. Does she like this sort of thing? Incidentally, me going along with it gave me a weird, hard-to-describe feeling. Did I turn myself into a plaything, or did they do it for me?
そんなに面白いならレナももう一人の自分を演じればいいじゃないか。
If you think it's so funny, then you should try pretending to be a different Rena, too. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Keiichi-kun, what kind of Rena would you want to meet?
アイドル真っ青のルックスと俺の言うこと何でも確実に聞く器量よしで頼む。
One with a bust size of at least 90. Huge knockers that you're okay with me touching. I don't know about that, brother. I can't do that.
料理上手でお昼のお弁当を作ってくれて朝は迎えに来てくれて
She'd be great at cooking and make me lunch and come to see me in the mornings. I do that already. I pull Rena's head into a tight grip, then start to pet it.
リュウグウレナなんだろ。
You're Rena Ryugu, right?
レイナじゃなくてレナ。
Rena, not Reina.
だからレナはいつまでもレナのまんまでいろ。
You just stay as Rena forever, got it? Thanks. Have fun helping set up the festival.
おう、明日祭りで会おうな。
You got it. Let's meet up tomorrow. I got changed right away, and slinging a towel around my neck like Mion suggested, I set off for the shrine. Don't mind Keiichi making bad jokes. He's a 14-year-old boy. He's not being weird. He just makes weird jokes with his friends. At the shrine, there are more people than you'd imagine even live in Hinamizawa there. All cordoning off areas and setting up tent frameworks, chatting amongst themselves as they did so. Alright, where's Mion? The liveliness of the throng didn't make it easy to look for her. I searched around as if I already worked there, and suddenly the principal called out to me.
前原君であるか。感心である。
If it isn't my Barakun. Interesting.
綿流しの準備のお手伝いに来たのかね。
Have you come to help with the Watanagashi setup?
ああ、どうも。
Hello.
何かお手伝いできないかなって思いまして。
Yes, I was just wondering if there's anything I could help with.
首相な心がけである。
How commendable your attitude is.
存分に汗を流すがよいぞ。
Feel free to sweat to your heart's content. Thanks, Principal. Who the fuck is Maibara? That's us. We're Keiichi Maibara. Spurred on by the principal, I came upon a group of people setting up tents.
ありゃ前原の兄ちゃんじゃねえの。
Oh, what's this? It's Maibara-chan.
ひょっとして手伝いに来たのかい？
Did you come all this way to help us? I hadn't found Mion yet, but I suppose I'd just get in her way if I ran into her.
おっす。
Yeah,
手伝いに来ました。
I'm here to help.
よろしくお願いします。
Just tell me where you need me.
若いのは元気があっていいね。
You young ones have all the vitality.
ほら、軍手つけて。
Here, grab some work gloves.
テントは組んだことあるかい？
Ever built a tent before?
いえ、初めてっす。
No, never. Delighting in teaching a new skill to someone younger, plenty of people happily taught me all sorts of things.
じゃあ、兄ちゃんは天幕の内側に入って天骨の紐だけ結んで。
Okay, kid, go inside the tent and tie up just the cords for the top.
結んだら足を立てて残りの紐も結ぶからな。
After that, we'll stand it up and tie the rest of them.
蝶々結びでいいんですよね。
Butterfly knots are okay, right?
よいしょ。よいしょ。
There and there.
結んだか。
All done?
立てるぞ。
We're standing it up.
いっせーの。
1, 2, 3. What was once nothing more than a collapsed tent was raised on 4 splendid legs before my eyes in mere moments. Whoa. Seeing it put together like this is actually pretty moving.
ほれほれ、感動してる場合じゃないぞ。
Come on, no time to stare and wonder.
まだまだたくさんあるんだからな。
We got a lot more to do.
トラックにテントを積んであるから、ここまで持ってきな。
We packed the tents into the trucks, or go get them from there.
重いから2人でやれよ。
They're heavy, so take someone with you.
大丈夫っすよ。俺こう見えても結構力あるんすから。
Nah, I'm good. I may look scrawny, but I'm actually pretty strong.
お
Whoa! They look light enough, so I thought they were. They're heavy.
だから2人で運べって言ったろ。
That's why I told you to have someone help.
ほれほれ。
Come on, said the man, lifting up with a grunt and taking it away under his arm. Either I'm weak, or these old guys all have superhuman strength.
ほら、一番若いんだから汗しないとダメだぞ。
Let's go. You're the youngest one here, so we're gonna make you sweat for it.
頑張れ頑張れ。
Do your best.
終わった後のビールがうまいぞ。
Beer after work is the best.
俺未成年だし。
I'm a minor. Bro's not strong. He thinks he is. He thought he was. Sweat dripped from my body. I've been fully and completely absorbed in helping them. I would never have thought the cold barley tea from the Women's Society could taste this delicious. No, he does not have the strength.
若いからね。
You're so young.
担当のみ。
Make sure you drink a lot.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you. It was then that I realized a crowd had formed near the shrine a ways off. He can swing good? This may be true. When I took a closer look, I saw a girl dressed in shrine maiden garb and a handful of old men looking like they were preparing for the ceremony together.
リカちゃんか？
Is that Rika-chan?
おーい、リカちゃん。
Hey, Rika-chan!
頑張れよ。
Do your best! I shouted and it seemed like she heard me. Rika-chan, positively exploding vitality, answered with a smile. The older guys with me watched Rika-chan as well, with distant gazes.
リカちゃまも頑張るな。
Rika-chan was doing a great job.
去年に比べるとだいぶ板についてきたみたいだしな。
She seems far more used to this than she did last year. The old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looked like prayer beads in her hands and said,
リカ様、ありがたや、ありがたや。
Rika-sama, we thank you, we thank you. And just like that, began to respectfully pray to her. Huh? I just remembered that they called it the Furude Shrine. Wasn't Rika-chan's full name Rika Furude? The man standing next to me answered my question.
そうだよ。
That's right.
リカちゃまのフルデ一族は代々大社様をお祭りする由緒正しい一族なんだよ。
Rikachama's Furude clan is ancient and honorable, and has worshipped Oyashiro-sama for generations. Huh. I'd always gotten the feeling she wasn't quite your average person, but it turned out she was from an esteemed family.
昨年神主様だったお父さんが亡くなられてからはああやって頑張って祭事を引き継いでおるんだよ。
After her father, who was the shrine priest, died the year before last, she's really been doing her best to learn the rituals.
立派になった姿神主様に見せたかったの。
I wish the priest could have been here to see how wonderfully she's grown up. What?
リカちゃんのお父さんってお亡くなりになったんですか？
Rika-chan's father passed away.
よし、休憩終わり。
I guess we're not going to talk about it. Okay, break time is over.
次は使わないパイプ椅子を沖小の体育館に戻しちゃおっか。
Let's get the chairs we're not using back to the gym in Okinomiya.
マキさん、K を回して何人か連れてってよ。
Mike-san, pull the truck around here and take a few people with you.
じゃあ前原君最後にもう一働きしようか。
Alright, Mabaru-kun, let's get to work on one last job. Ugh. Gonna make me do more work? I can't tell if they know I'm a minor or not, but the older men all cheer me on, encourage me to do my best, and that the beer will be great. They're gonna hand me a cold one after this, and I'm gonna be like, oh,
ケイ
thanks.
ちゃん頑張ってる。
Damn. Kei-chan, working hard, I see. Passed by Mion. She's carrying a big cardboard box. Looked like she was in the middle of working as well. Judging by the sweat seeping into her shirt, it seemed like I wasn't the only one with his hands full.
おー、頑張ってるぜ。
Yeah, I'm working my ass off.
ミオンも頑張れよ。
You work hard too.
ビールがうまいぞ。
The beer's gonna be great. We worked to the bone until the sun began to set and it started cooling off. The sun is setting. Wow. It was soon full-fledged night, and the clear sound of the Higurashi eased the moderate pain I felt. The other guys began their night before drinking party in a tent a fair bit off, causing quite a ruckus. The shrine grounds, on the other hand, had turned into a lonely road tickled by the cool evening breeze, despite being so festive just a little while ago. The wind felt good. I leaned on one of the stone guardian dogs at the front of the shrine. I gave my legs a good stretch as I let my mind wander, and suddenly, a paper cup filled with barley tea was thrust before me.
ケイちゃんお疲れ様。
Kei-chan, great work.
はい麦茶です。
Here's some tea for you.
お、気が利くな。
You're so considerate.
サンキュー、
Thanks, meat. Their voice sounded exactly the same, but it felt somehow different.
あ、お前は。
Wait, you're... I love Mion so much? Well, we're talking with Shion!
です。
Hey, yeah, it's Shion.
気が利いているのはシオンの方。
Don't go giving Mion all the credit.
聞いてないのがミオンの方ですので、お間違いなきよ。
She isn't considerate at all. Don't get us confused, okay?
シオン、てめえ。
Shion, you little...
ここで会ったが100年目。
Now that I've caught you, you're not getting away.
ケイちゃんが勝手に勘違いしたんですよ。
It was your mistake, Kei-chan.
私は初めからシオンとしか名乗ってませんし。
I never said I was anyone other than Shion.
それを言われると弱い。
I guess I can't argue with that.
そうそう。お姉にすらかなわないケイちゃんが私にかなうわけないんですからね。
That's right. You're no match for my older sister, so I can't let you be a match for me either.
それより麦茶。
Anyway, your tea.
ぬるくなっちゃいますよ。
It's gonna get warm.
うん。
もう機嫌直してください。
Come on, please cheer up.
だからこれ仲直りの麦茶ってことで。
I'm trying to make it up to you with this tea. Well, she did come all the way here to give it to me. I guess I'll accept it. I took the cup and downed it in one gulp. And suddenly, I heard a loud shout and it got stuck in my throat. Oh, hi, Mion.
今度はどっちだ。
Which one is it this time?
本物のミオンか。
Is it the real Mion? Shion?
なんでまたケイちゃんと一緒にいるわけ？
Why are you hanging out with Kei-chan again?
お姉と違って私は気配りとかできるタイプですから。
Because unlike you, I'm very considerate.
汗だくになって たケイちゃんを放っておけなくて麦茶を持ってきたわけです。
Mion legit an angel. She told me someone never heard her fly. I don't trust Shion though. See, Mion, chill. Shion, getting bad vibes. Saying because unlike you, I'm very considerate to your sister. I mean, I know siblings fuck with each other. I got siblings, but damn. Kei-chan was so sweaty, I couldn't leave him alone, so I brought him some tea.
ところでお姉はなんで麦茶を2つも持ってるんですか？
By the way, why are you holding 2 cups of tea? Mion's face went bright red. She tried to hide the paper cups behind her back. Hey, Mion, give me the tea. I'll drink with you. Get Shion out of here.
いや、これは
Well, this is...
大雑把で自分さえ良ければいいお姉がクラスメートの男の子に海外しく麦茶を持ってくるわけないですよね。
Shion legit an angel. She's totally innocent. Never heard a fly. Okay. There's no way you, such a rough, timid, good sister of mine, would ever briskly bring a male classmate tea, is there?
結局何なんです？
So what are they?
その2つの麦茶は。
What are those 2 cups of tea?
これは
Oh, give me one. I'm thirsty. I'm so thirsty. These are, well, right.
すっごく喉が渇いちゃって2杯は飲めるかななんて。
I was just so thirsty, I figured I'd drink 2.
お姉らしい。
What if I throw you? I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm assuming Shion? That's so like you.
それ一気。
Oh no, you're talking about Bonja. Okay. Come on, chug, chug! I mean, I want to throw Shion. As Shion cheered at her, Mion downed both the cups of tea, one after the other. Oh, Mion.
さすがはお姉。見事な飲みっぷりでした。
What a fabulous drink that was. I expected nothing less from you.
ケイちゃんも拍手拍手。
Kei-chan, you give her a hand too. You feel like a manipulator. Wait, suddenly the situation has gotten unbelievable. Mion doesn't usually get manipulated so easily like that. That's what I'm saying. I've known for a while now, but Shion is terrifying.
ミオンってシオンには頭上がらないのか？
Mion, can't hold your own against Shion?
私シオン嫌い。
I hate her.
この前からもっと嫌いになった。
And lately I hate her even more. Just then I heard the snap of a camera shutter. Tomoitake mode on? Tomoitake mode
こん
on!
ばんは。
Tomoitake mode on! Good evening.
いよいよ明日がお祭りだね。
The festival's coming up tomorrow.
今日は準備お疲れさん。
Thanks for all your hard work setting it up today.
こんばんは。
Good evening.
あら、シオンちゃん。
Oh, Shion-chan.
珍しいわね。こっちへ来るなんて。
It's quite unusual for you to come here.
ありゃ、富田家のおじさまに高野さんじゃないですか。
Tomoitake mode on! Oh hey, it's Tomoitake and Takano-san.
こんばんは。ご無沙汰いたしております。
Good evening. It's been a while, hasn't it?
君が噂の転校生、前原圭一君だね。
So you're that transfer student I've been hearing about. Kijimabara-kun, right?
今日は張り切って仕事してたね。感心したよ。
You really did a bang-up job today. I'm impressed. I feel like I've seen this photographer guy before.
どこかでお会いしてますよね。
Have we met before?
覚えててくれて嬉しいね。
I'm glad you remembered.
圭一君とは道で何度かすれ違ってるよ。
We've passed many times on the road, Keiichi-kun.
僕は富武。
I'm Tomoitake.
東京から来てるフリーのカメラマンさ。
This Keiichi guy's memory. I'm a freelancing photographer from Tokyo. I remember you,
私は
Tomoitake.
わかるかしら？
And do you recognize me? I bet he doesn't.
すみません。覚えがないです。
I'm sorry, but I don't.
高野美代さんだよ。
She's Mio Takano-san.
ケイちゃんはまだ風邪とかで診療所のお世話にはなってない？
You remember when you were at the doctor's office when you still had a cold,
美
Kei-chan?
代さんは診療所で看護師さんをやってるんだよ。
Mio-san is one of the nurses who works there.
高野よ。
Call me Takano.
よろしくね。
I'm pleased to meet you.
治療に来るときは教えてね。太めの注射針を用意しておくから。
Tell me when you're coming in for treatment. I'll prepare a huge needle for you. Hey,
それはご丁寧にどうも。
that's very thoughtful of you. Tomitaka seemed to be quite entertained at the Sonozaki twins being in the same place, and he took picture after picture.
話には聞いていたけど、一卵性ソーセージってのは初めて見たよ。
I've heard about them, but this is the first time I've actually seen a pair of identical twins.
本当にそっくりなんだな。
You really do look exactly alike.
そっくりなのは外見だけじゃないんですよ。ほら、下着もお揃い。
We're not just alike on the outside. See, our underwear matches too. We don't need to see or know that. You idiot, what the heck are you doing? Things have never been as lively as when the two of them were together. I thought they were exactly the same at first, but I've started to get a handle of which one is which. Mion is Mion, and Shion, well, she seems a far better actor than Mion was. In the first place, somebody that could spurn Mion so easily wouldn't have shown such weakness to those lard buckets at Angel Mort. If that was the case, and that cowardly behavior from that day was all... It's a goal, a complete act.
あの二人、昔はもっとそっくりでね。
If I lightly shake my phone, Tomitake's movie shake? Okay. They were even more alike when they were little.
ご両親でもどっちがどっちかわからなくて手を焼いていたそうよ。
I heard even their parents had a hard time telling which was which.
すごく想像に容易です。
That's really easy to imagine.
ご両親のご苦労がよくわかります。
I totally understand what they must have gone through. Takano gave me kind of an odd look, but explaining would have been a pain, so I didn't bother.
富武のおじさまはまた綿流しの取材が終わったら東京にとんぼ帰りですか？
Tomitake, you're going straight back to Tokyo after you get your pictures of the festival?
うん。本当はいつまでも滞在していたいんだけどね。
Like, bro, just wear a prize. Like, put those away. You don't like them? Let's scroll through some of the older sprites. He usually looks like in the remake. He usually looks like in the original. In case you wanted to know. But I'd rather just stay here forever.
しがない大人の都合ってやつさ。
Silly adult things, that's all.
お写真が早く素敵な賞を取るといいですね。お祈りしていますね。
Hope your photos win a fabulous prize soon. I've been praying for it.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
今度来るときには今日撮った君たちの写真も持ってくるよ。
Next time I come, I'll bring the pictures I took of you all today.
今日は前原くんもお疲れ様。
Abara-kun, you did a lot of work today.
慣れない力仕事で疲れたでしょ。
Bro, more in the OG, I know! You must be tired from all the physical labor you're not used to.
え、
Hey.
まあ疲れたけど
Let's just say
結構楽しかったです。
I'm very physically active, so... Well, I'm tired, but it was still pretty fun. They unmoved him.
若さね。
This is a tragedy. I can't believe they would do this. Joe Biden's America. Ah, youth. I'm so jealous. Takano-san smiled with an adult elegance, but no one in my circle of friends possessed. The wind caught her hair. She gives off an intelligent beauty. You? Hey, man. Oh, why, hello, everyone. It seemed like our merry crowd was standing out. This time, an overweight older man addressed us. And again, it was someone I thought I knew. If I recall correctly, he's a policeman, isn't he?
あら、大石さん。
Oh, Oishi-san.
こんばんは。
Good evening.
明日の警備の下見ですか？
Doing a preliminary security inspection for tomorrow?
そんなところです。
Something like that.
おや、富武くんじゃないですか。
Oh, if it isn't Tomitake-kun.
ご無沙汰しておりますね。
Certainly been a while.
僕の名前を覚えていてくださったとは光栄ですよ。
I wanted you to remember my name.
あなたもつくづくひなみ沢が好きですな。
You really do love Hinamizawa, don't you?
ここいらへんは東京よりもずっとアパートは安いですよ。
The apartments around here are far cheaper than the ones in Tokyo.
いっそ引っ越してくればいいのに。
You should just move here and get it over with.
仲のいい不動産屋を紹介しますよ。
I know a realtor I can introduce you to.
それは嬉しいですね。
I appreciate the thought.
その説はぜひお世話になりたいです。
I'd very much like to follow up on that.
ではでは皆さん、良いお年を。
Alright, everyone. Have a good year.
園崎の双子さんも良いお年を。
Happy New Year to the Sonozaki twins, too.
良いお年を、大石刑事。
Happy New Year, Detective Uishi. She doesn't like him.
お仕事よろしくお願いしますね。
We appreciate your work.
今年は皆さんの手を煩わせない綿流しにしたいです。
We'd like to end this year's festival with the least amount of inconvenience possible.
こりゃ手厳しい。
It's pretty strict on me. Detective Uishi left us with a low laugh and headed off to talk to some police officers standing a ways away. They gave Mion a glance and saw her making an annoyed face as if she were glaring bullets at someone she hated. Oh, they don't like him.
そうね。
Yeah.
今年は警察のお世話にならない綿流しになるといいわね。
It'd be nice if the police didn't have anything to do during Higurashi this year.
君も好きだね。
Chat, do you think Tomitake can do the rump shaker? I think he's got it in him. But which version of Tomitake? Console, remake, or original? Who's doing it the best? Post your answers below. You like this place too, don't you?
あら、ジローさんは嫌い？
Oh, you mean to say you dislike it, Jiro-san?
私、そういう夢のある話好きよ。
I quite enjoy such fantastic stories, you know.
潤いのない時代だからこそ、そういうのに憧れるの。
Especially with the times being so dry and uninteresting.
お社様のたたりか。
The curse of Oyashiro-sama, you mean? Curse. Tomitake-san used a troubling word. Daddy, do the Tomitake walk. I'm pulling up Saiyan walk at the end of the stream. I haven't watched it in a while. Then suddenly, someone tugged on my arm.
ケイちゃん、私お腹空いちゃったからさ。
Hey-chan, I'm pretty hungry.
酒盛りのテントに行ってお菓子でも食べてこない？
Want to go to the tent with the drinks and have some candy and sweets?
Oh.
I love
そうだな。
candy and sweets. I'm up for that.
俺もちょっとお腹が減ったかな。
I've gotten a little hungry as well.
行こう行こ
Okay, let's go. A moment later, Shion said something to Takano and Tomitake that stung my ears and gave me a start.
う。今年は誰が死んで、誰が消えるんでしょうね。
I wonder who will die and who will disappear this year. I pulled back from Mion's grip and stopped abruptly.
シオン、今、なんて言ったんだ？
Shion, what did she just say? Felt like the air around us dried out all of a sudden.
行こうよケイちゃん。
Let's go, Kei-chan.
つまんない話だよ。
We're talking about something silly anyway.
お姉はまだケイちゃんに話してないの？
You still haven't told Kei-chan?
私、そういう話は吹き込まない主義なの。
I make it a point not to spread stories like that. Shion's cold and quiet tone and Mion's harsh voice were quite the contrast.
おいおいおいおい、何の話だよ。
Hey, wait, hold on. What are you talking about?
知ってるなら教えてくれよ。
If you know something, then tell me.
俺だけのけ者なんて、なんだか気分悪いぞ。
Doesn't feel right being the only one left out, you know. I don't understand this. Someone explain it to me. However, Mion didn't seem to be at all willing to grant my request. She squeezed my hand in hers a bit, but when she realized I would hold my ground on this topic, she let go.
じゃあさ、私先に酒盛りのテントに行ってるよ。
I'm gonna go to the drinking tent first then.
早く来ないとケイちゃんの分なくなっちゃうからね。
If you don't come soon, Kei-chan, there won't be any left for you.
なあ、分かってるって。
I get it already.
すぐ行くから。
I'll be there soon. Mion left, trotting towards a particularly noisy tent on the other side of the shrine grounds. Before she got there, she stopped and turned back around. I showed no signs of going after her, though, so she ran off.
もしも聞いてないんだったら話してもいいけど、
I can tell you if you haven't heard, I suppose.
ひょっとすると聞かないで彼女と一緒にお菓子を食べに行った方が賢明かもしれないよ。
But it might be smarter not to ask and go with her to eat dessert. Hey now, you've already gotten my full attention here. I'm not gonna leave without asking at this point.
ケイちゃんにも聞く権利があると思います。
I think Kei-chan has the right to hear this too.
お姉はその権利を奪ってただけです。
I would have went with Mion. Me too. My sisters were just stealing that from you. Shion's voice was bristling with thorns, as if somehow blaming Mion.
一体 何の話だって言うんですか？
What on earth are you talking about?
あんまりもったいぶられると不愉快ですよ。
I don't really like people acting so self-important. Takano-san, realizing how prepared I was, looked across the group. After confirming that there were no objections, she opened her mouth.
前原君はタタリを信じるかしら？
You believe in curses, my brother-kun? No.
たたりですか？
Curses?
面白いとは思いますけど、あんまり信じては。
I think they're interesting, but I don't really... I felt their cynical stares and winced. It was like they were telling me it was stranger not to believe in curses.
ケイちゃんは間違ってないですよ。
You're not wrong, Kei-chan.
タタリなんて迷信もいいとこ。
Curses are just superstition.
信じなくて当たり前です。
It's only natural that you wouldn't believe in them.
そうね。
Mm-hmm.
それにタタリを信じるかどうかは話を最後まで聞いてからゆっくり考えればいいことなんだから。
Besides, you can take all the time you need to decide whether to believe in curses after you've heard us through, said Takano-san, giving a little smile. Trying to scare me. At least that's what it feels like.
じゃあ少し僕が話そうか。
Alright, I'll start.
ケイイチ君はひなみ沢ダム計画を知ってるかい？
Keiichi-kun, do you know about the Hinamizawa Dam project? Oh yeah, the other day at Angelmore, Shion, or Mion rather, told me all about it.
確か、ひなみ沢が丸ごと水没する巨大なダムの計画が発表されたって言うんですよね。
You mean the plan for the giant dam that would flood all of Hinamizawa, right?
その通り。
That's right.
それに反対するために住民運動が結成され、国と激しい戦いを繰り広げたんだ。
Residents of the town banded together to fight it, and a fierce battle with the government unfolded. I've heard that too. The entire village united, using all the power at their disposal, mass media, political influence, and other things, and fought the country. The way Mion described it made it sound like a boast.
あれ？ずいぶん詳しいじゃないか。
Oh, you know quite a bit about it.
その通りさ。
Yes, you're right.
わずか1000人ちょいの村人たちが中心になって結束して、国の施策を跳ね返したというちょっとした武勇伝なんだ。
It's practically an epic tale. Not just 1,000 or so villagers banded together and rejected the government's plans.
その辺はお姉に聞かされて
I
ません
want
か？
my sweets and drinks. You don't get your sweets and drinks. Did you hear this from my sister?
この辺りの武勇伝はお姉も好きですからね。
She likes those kinds of epics, you know.
あ
Yeah,
あ、話してたよ。
she told me.
そのひなみ沢の人たちが結束して旗揚げした反対同盟の事務所があったのがね。
There was, however, an office for the Hinamizawa residents' opposition faction.
この神社なんだよ。
It was the shrine.
ほら、あの集会所がその名残よ。
You know the assembly hall? That's where it used to be.
解散後は老人会のサークル活動にしか使われてないけど、当時はまさに最後の砦だったの。
Now that the whole thing is over, the senior citizens just use it for group activities. At the time, though, it was their last bastion. Takano-san explained this, pointing a finger towards the assembly hall. I'd been carrying things in and out of there all day. I mean, I would understand if they put an office like that in the mayor's house or something. Rika for president 2024? I've been saying this. But having an office on Shrine Grounds made it feel kind of like a base camp for Sengoku period warriors.
そんな心境だったんだろうね。
That was basically the mindset, though.
彼らはひなみ沢の守り神様であるお社様を祀る神社に本陣を置くことで必勝を祈願したんだよ。
Placing the main force in the shrine dedicated to Oyashiro-sama, Hinamizawa's guardian deity, was like a prayer for victory. Oyashiro-sama. That was definitely it. You mentioned Oyashiro-sama's curse before. Is it the same Oyashiro-sama?
ケイイチ君はお社様は知ってるかい？
Do you know about Oyashiro-sama, Keiichi-kun?
この神社の祀る神様の名前だよ。
It's the name of the god worshipped at the shrine.
ひなみ沢を守ってると伝えられてる。
It's said that he protects all of Hinamizawa.
いや、よくは知らないです。
Well, I don't really know much about him.
そうか。じゃあ、ここから先は高野さんの方が詳しいかな。
I see. I think Takano-san knows more about the rest.
タッチ。
Tag, you're it.
平たく言えばそのままよ。
Well, that's generally the whole story.
お社様はこのひなみ沢に伝わる古い神様で、神聖なこの地が属性に汚されることがないよう守り続けてきたと伝えられてるわ。
Oyashiro-sama is the ancient god passed down in Hinamizawa, and the villagers say he's been protecting the sanctuary from the poisons of the outside world. So essentially, he's a basic standard guardian deity. I guess you can find that sort of god anywhere you go.
お社様崇拝は一種の先民思想の表れではないかと研究されているわね。
I hope Shion's next for the thing she said. I want her gone. I understand. But, you know, I do not like Shion. Well, me either. But maybe cursing her is a bit much. But there's research into whether worshipping Oyashiro-sama is a manifestation of a kind of elitism, too.
先民思想って言葉、わかるかしら？
What I mean is that the worshippers might think of themselves as chosen people. And we just love everyone? I don't want to! Believing yourself chosen. A nationalistic belief that you are part of a superior race, or that you're a special clan chosen by the gods. They believe that they're a superior clan, so they believe strongly in cooperating with others. They also end up being exclusionary towards other clans. I won't go into too much detail, but it's the sort of national and religious ideas that lead to war. Of course, that goes for Japan too.
大昔のひなみ沢の人たちは、自分たちは人間とは異なる格の違う存在だと強く信じていてね。
A long time ago, the people of Hinamizawa strongly believed themselves different from humans, that they were above them.
下界との交流を汚れとして意味嫌ったそうなの。
They believed that interaction with the lower world would sully their souls.
だから村に下界の人間が来ると、汚れてお社様の罰が当たると強く信じ、何者も近寄らせ
I
なかった
interrupted
そう
her,
よ。
I'm sorry. So everyone believed that if one from the lower world came to the village, they would be sullied and suffer the wrath of Oyashiro-sama. Apparently that kept everyone away.
よそ者を嫌う村ってよく推理小説に出てくるだろ？
Villages that hate outsiders come up all the time in mystery novels.
典型的なそういう村だったらしいんだよ。
This was once a classic example of a xenophobic village.
一応名誉のために断りますけど、大昔のことですからね。
Well, they'll deny it to preserve their pride. It was a long time ago, after all.
今は違います。
Things are different now. Shion followed up quickly, having sensed the thorns in Tomitake-san's words. Tomitake-san, embarrassed at what he said, scratched his head. So the shrine worships Oyashiro-sama, thinks of Hinamizawa's holy ground, and it's a symbol of their traditional hatred of the outside world.
なるほど。
I get it.
だから下界からやってきた汚れたダム計画に立ち向かうために、ひなみ沢の守り神様の神社に本陣を置いたと。
That's why they chose the shrine of Hinamizawa's guardian spirit as their base of operations, to resist the Sully Dam construction project that came from the outside. Correct. Smiled Takano, pleased. She must dislike stupid people.
円担ぎも万端。
Superstition, every last bit of it.
村人たちは視力を尽くしてダム計画に立ち向かうんだ。
The villagers gave everything, desperate to oppose the dam construction.
その最中なんだよ。
And right in the midst of it,
事実上、あの事件でとどめが入ったと言ってもいい。
the incident drove home the finishing blow. Oyashiro-sama's curse.
ひなみ沢ダムの建設現場の監督がですね。
The person managing the construction site of the Hinamizawa Dam was murdered.
4年前かな。
4 years ago, I believe?
結構派手に新聞に載ったんですけど、覚えてません？
It took the newspapers by storm. Do you remember it?
ちょっと知らないな。
No, not really.
部下と喧嘩して、ツルハシでめった打ちにされて、両手両足、首をもいで捨てられたんだそうです。
He had a fight with a subordinate and was beaten to death with a pickaxe. His limbs and head were torn off and the remains disposed of.
バラバラ殺人だよ。
One of those dismemberment homicides.
一頃流行ったろ。
They were all the rage at one point. Such a gruesome incident. But it was just that, an incident. The person caused the incident after all. Did they really put it down to the curse?
その翌年にはね、ひなみ沢の住人でありながらダム推進派のグループを結成していた男がね、
Then the following year, the man who had organized Hinamizawa's group of dam
旅行
proponents,
先で崖から落ちて死んじゃったの。
he fell from a cliff while on vacation and died.
これは事故だそうよ。
Apparently it was an accident.
何しろ、ひなみ沢中から敵視されていたからね。
Of course, most of Hinamizawa was hostile towards him.
警察もかなり念入りに他殺の線を洗ったんだけど、結局事故と断定したみたいだよ。
Police were all over the case as if it were a homicide, but in the end it was judged to have been an accident. Now it's an accident. This is the most curse-like one, but it's still far-fetched.
さらに翌年、
And then, on the next year,
今度はね、この神社の神主さんが原因不明の病で倒れて急死しちゃったの。
this time the priest of the shrine contracted an unknown illness and suddenly died.
前の神主さんはこう言っちゃ失礼ですけど、ちょっと日和見な人だったんですよね。
This may sound a little rude, but the old priest was kind of a wait-and-see type.
村中が反ダムで盛り上がってるのに、神主さんは放っておけみたいな感じで。
Why are we barking in chat? The village was in an uproar about the dam, but he just kind of didn't seem to want to bother.
抵抗運動の象徴である神社の神主さんがそんな感じなんだからね。
The shrine was the symbol of the opposition movement, and its priest, well, his attitude worked against him.
リーダーシップを期待していた当時の村人たちは失望し、中には怒りを抱く人たちもいたそうよ。
The village at the time had hoped for a leader, but their hopes were betrayed. Some people were apparently pretty angry too.
だから当時、年寄り連中はみんな言ったんです。
At the time, all the older people were
こ
like,
れはお社様のたたりだってね。
fucking Shion, you're barking because you hate her so much? Damn! This is Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's what they said. It did seem like every year, dam-related people the village had resentment towards were dying. Pretty creepy.
しかもね、
Oh, and also,
面白いことに、これらの事件や事故は毎年必ず綿流しのお祭りの晩に起こるんだよ。
oh, and also, it's interesting. All these incidents and accidents always happen on the night of the Watanagashi festival.
え
What?
ね、ちょっとたたりっぽくなってきたでしょ。
See? Starting to sound like a curse now, isn't it?
さらに翌年、
Then the year after
つ
that.
まり去年だね。
In other words, last year.
今度は事故死したダム推進派のリーダー格の男の弟夫婦の奥さんが撲殺死体で発見されちゃったんだ。
The sister-in-law of the man who was the leader of the dam proponents, the one who accidentally died, was discovered dead, having been beaten to death.
もちろん犯人は捕まったけどね。
Of course, they caught that criminal.
ね、
See?
やっぱりたたりっぽいでしょ。
Really seems like a curse, huh? 4 years in a row. Each one of the incidents and accidents were relatively commonplace. Every single one of them happening on the night of the festival worshipping Oyashiro-sama? That's not normal. Here for
年
Rika's
寄り連
life,
中はこの
We'll
数年の
see.
事件ですっかりお社様のたたりを盲信しちゃって。
anything happens to Rika, I'm gonna be real upset. The old folks have been blindly accepting Oyashiro-sama's curse because of the incidents these past few years.
若い人たちだって最初はバカにしてましたけど、今は誰も茶化しませんね。
Even younger people, too. At first they thought it was stupid, but now nobody makes fun of it. Yeah, I can see where she's coming from. Even me. If I didn't think there was a curse at all, thinking about all the incidents like this made me feel like maybe it's real.
例えば今日のお祭り準備にしてもそうさ。
For example, just look at the preparations for the festival you were doing today.
ダムとの戦いで荒れていたとはいえ、何年か前までは綿流しはそんなに盛況していたわけじゃないんだよ。
Everything might have gone crazy during the battle against the dam, but just a few years ago, the Watanagashi festival was never this well attended.
まあ、そうですね。
Well, I guess you're right.
お社様のたたりの話がなかったら、こんなにお祭りには集まりませんね。
If we didn't have Oyashiro-sama to talk about, we wouldn't have all been coming to a festival like this, huh?
不信心者には罰が当たるかもしれない。だからお社様のお祭りには必ず出ようって言ってる人たち。
There's a lot of people who say that infidels might be punished, so they really need to go to Oyashiro-sama's festival. Shion nodded as if she were mocking herself.
どうかな。
So how about now?
ケイチ君もひょっとしてたたりは本当にあるのではという気になってきたんじゃないかな。
Ichi-kun, you're starting to get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, the curse is real, aren't you? I mean, you can't just laugh off people related to the dam construction project all dying like that. Hang on, lunch break real quick. I had a DM. I had to look at it. Okay, sorry. Oh yeah, I forgot that place when I switched screens. Even I feel like this now. And the more superstitious members of the village must feel stronger than that.
まあ、それでも、たたりなんかないと思ってます。
Well, I mean, I still don't think there's a curse.
ですけど、信じる人たちの気持ちもわかるつもりです。
I can understand those that believe there is, though.
さすが。
Wow, okay, Chen.
ケイちゃんは冷静に判断できてますね。
You can really keep a cool head about this. Shion grinned, realizing I'd rejected the curse.
たたりでもなく偶然のはずもないなら、さて、これらの事件はどういうことになるのかしらね。
It's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then. What should we make of these incidents? Yo, guys, I have the perfect idea. The four of us, let's form a gang. We're going to be the new Mystery Inc. We're going to investigate these incidents. We also need a dog, Takano-san said, smiling playfully as if posing a riddle. Neither a curse nor a coincidence. But every year, someone dies. What should we make of that, then? Tomitake-san, catching on to the fact that I had no idea what to make of it, opened his mouth and came to my aid.
高野さんはね、人間の仕業かもしれないって言ってるんだよ。
Takano-san is suggesting that it might be the work of real people. Eh? Simple process for elimination would have gotten me there. I was a little taken back at not realizing the answer immediately.
だってそうでしょ？
Well, think about it.
たたりでもなく偶然でもないなら、人の意志が働いてるとしか考えられないもの。
If Rika dies, I'm gonna kill myself. You've only been what? You've only been here for like an hour, 12 minutes, and 25 seconds. And you already are very attached to Rika. And if that ain't the realest shit I've ever heard. I forgot where I was in the sentence. I'm just gonna reread it all. Well, think about it. If it's neither a curse nor coincidence, then people must be willing and carrying it out. It's no explanation, right? Takano-san pressed on. I smiled bitterly in spite of myself. Here I was just a few minutes ago, thinking that the very concept of a curse was absolutely absurd. When she suggested it was someone's doing, I ended up thinking there wasn't any way it could be a person. Takano-san was right. It was either a curse or it was a person's doing. If unrealistic things like curses didn't exist, then the obvious next step would be to start thinking it was people behind it. But if that was the case... I glanced to Shion.
人間が犯人なら、確かにひなみ沢の誰かが犯人なんでしょうね。
If the culprit is a person, then they'd have to be someone from Hinamizawa.
現に、警察の大石さんはそう見てますから。
That's what the police officer Oishi-san thinks right now, too.
おいおい。
Hey, wait.
そんなわけあるのかよ。
Can't be. I thought I now knew the reason Mion didn't want to talk about this. If Oyashiro-sama's curse really existed, then that's fine. It'd be divine judgment for the dam project business. However, if Oyashiro-sama's curse didn't exist, which it obviously didn't, then the culprit would most likely be someone from Hinamizawa. We got Yoshikage Kira up in here! Villagers had worked desperately to oppose the dam construction project. I knew they had used all sorts of methods to fight against it. One of those methods was, maybe...
お社様のたたりは、ダム計画抵抗運動の暗部じゃないかって囁かれてるんです。
People whisper that Oyashiro-sama's curse could be the doing of a secret group in the dam resistance movement. Shion dryly put words to my exact thoughts. Of course, I didn't expect it. She was from Hinamizawa, so I didn't think she'd come out and say it herself.
ちょっと落ち着いて考えれば、誰が見たってひなみ沢の誰かの仕業だってわかることです。
Kira, Rika, my god. It was her all along. If you calm down and think about it, anyone would come to the same conclusion.
ダム工事に反対して得をする人
Mind
動機
blown.
がないじゃないですか。
It wouldn't be a motive for anyone but people who benefit from opposing the dam project, right?
それはそうだけど。
I guess that's true. Admitting to the existence of a darker side of the dam conflict would be rude to Mion, who spoke of it so highly. So I couldn't just accept Shion's seemingly logical viewpoint.
それにね、警察の人は知らないだろうけど、
One more thing. The police probably don't know this.
南沢の人間にはわかる、南沢の人間の犯行だという証拠があるんです。
There's proof that someone from Hinamizawa committed these crimes, and the people of Hinamizawa know it. What? Shion rebukes me to keep my voice down.
ごめん。
Sorry,
でもその証拠って一体。
but this proof, what is it?
必ず一人が死んで、もう一人が消えるからです。
It's the fact that one person dies and one more person disappears. One more person disappears. Does that mean that someone besides the one who died from the curse was a sacrifice?
消えるって意味がよくわからないな。
What do you mean by disappear?
それは失踪するって意味か？
They just vanish and you never see them again?
そうです。
That's right.
忽然と、跡形もなく。
Suddenly without a trace. Oh god. Yeah, you don't know. It's not just one person who goes, but two! That makes you fear more? Yeah. You gotta think about two people going away. As she spoke, Shion pretended to do a trick with her hands while she were making a magician's hat disappear. One dies a mysterious death and one disappears, never to be seen again. Strange vanishing act. But then why? How does that equate to someone from Hinamizawa being the culprit?
実はね、
Well, actually,
南沢の古い伝統の一つにね、
Hinamizawa has this one really old legend.
お社様の怒りを鎮め
Maybe even more. Don't say
生
that.
贄を捧げたというのがあるの。
It's about how people offer sacrifices to Oyashiro-sama to calm his wrath.
生贄？
Sacrifices?
ええ、
Yes.
すまきにされて底なし沼に生きたままじわじわと時間をかけて沈めたんです。
They say they used to wrap a living person up in a bamboo mat and let them slowly sink into a bottomless swamp. Hakano-san, though explaining something pretty terrible, had a look of glee on her face as she did so.
文献を調べた限りでは3日3晩をかけて本当にゆっくりとじわじわと沈めたそうよ。
As far as I can glean from the literature, it actually took 3 days and 3 nights for them to sink.
ほら、昔の人って結構ダジャレが好きでしょ。
See, even people a long time ago liked symbolism.
沈める。
You're like some weird literature lady.
沈めるをかけてたんだと思うの。
As the body sunk, Oyashiro-sama's anger would be quelled.
だから時間をかけて沈めるという意味があったんでしょうね。
Both were submerged into the deep. Takano-san was the only one laughing at this. Was she telling a joke or something? Shion didn't move to deny it, but I felt a difference in temperature between her cool expression and Takano-san's.
この辺の話は、まあ聞いて想像がつくと思いますけど、南沢の秘史です。
This whole conversation, well, I think you can imagine after hearing it, but it's the secret history of Hinamizawa.
南沢に昔からいる人なら誰でも知ってますが、それを口に出すことはありませんね。
Everyone who's been in Hinamizawa for a long time knows it, but they don't talk about it.
高野さんは南沢出身じゃないけどね。詳しいだろ？
Takano-san's not from here, but she knows quite a lot.
彼女は郷土史とか民間伝承とかが好きでね。
She really likes local history, folk legends, stuff like that.
全部独学で調べたんだよ。
She learned about it all by herself, too.
そんなに
Good for
かっこいいも
you.
のじゃないのよ。
I'm really not all that amazing.
単なる知的好奇心。
Just curious, that's all.
子供と同じよ。
Like a child.
ただの怖いもの見たさ程度なんだから。
I just want to see scary things for the fun of it. It's Takano. You think it's her? You think she's the killer? She's the Jeff the killer? She's gonna Jeff the kill them? Tomitaka-san laughed, a little bit embarrassed.
ちょっと待ってください。
Wait a minute.
ってことは何ですか？事件のたびに消えるという一人は生贄に捧げられているって言うんですか？
What does that mean? The other person who disappeared during the incidents? Saying they're offered as a sacrifice? Yeah. Shion answers in one word before anyone else can speak. Someone dies, then someone disappears. Hmm.
本当に生贄にされてるかどうかは別にして、
Well, whether they actually get sacrificed or not is a different issue.
過去の事件では必ず一人が死ぬ他に一人が消えてるんだよ。
But every time something happened in the past, one person died and one other person disappeared.
例えば一番最初のダム現場の監督が殺された事件も、複数犯のうちの最後の一人が未だ逮捕されてないらしいんだ。
For example, the first one where the dam site manager was killed. Apparently one of the people responsible for that still hasn't been arrested.
それは単にうまく逃げおおせてるだけなんじゃないんですか？
Couldn't that just mean he managed to get away?
別に生贄にされたというのとは違うのでは？
I don't see why you should treat him as a sacrifice.
まあ僕もそうだとは思うんだけどね。
Well, that's basically what I think too.
で、次の年のダム推進派のリーダー格の男なんだけど、
There was also the year after that, with the leader of the dam proponents.
確か旅行先で崖から落ちて亡くなったんですよね。
You said he fell from a cliff and died while on vacation, right?
落ちたのは奥さんも一緒らしいの。
Apparently his wife fell as well.
警察は懸命に捜索したんだけど、どうしても奥さんの遺体だけ見つけられないんですって。
The police investigated fervently, but they were never able to find the wife's corpse.
崖下の川は増水してたそうだからね。
The river under the cliff was actually pretty high at the time, though.
どこか川下の湖の湖底で土砂にでも埋まってしまったのかもしれないけどね。
She could have just been buried under the sand at the bottom of some lake downstream or something. The perpetrator of a dismemberment like that wouldn't want to be caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide too. I thought I'd heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface after the person drowned in a swelled river like that. She vanished because of an unfortunate accident, but I still didn't see the connection to sacrifices. If you took each of the past incidents in turn, none of the disappearances evoked that terrifying of an image.
その翌年の神主の病死の時ははっきりしてます。
Does anyone here remember the name of the novel this is based on? Yeah, it's called, Winnie the Pooh. The year after that, with the priest suddenly falling ill and dying, is much clearer.
奥さんが遺書を残したんです。
His wife left a suicide note.
死んでお社様のお怒りを鎮めに参りますってな感じのが、神主さんが亡くなった晩に自宅に残されてたそうですから。
They found it in their house the night the priest died. It says something along the lines of her quelling Oishiro-sama's wrath through her death. Curse. Seems to turn up in this one, though.
まあ真相は闇の中なんだけどね。
Well, we may never know the truth of the matter.
その奥さんが受水自殺した沼は、さっき高野さんも話した例のでっかい底なし沼ってことになっててね。
The swamp the wife drowned herself in was the giant bottomless one Takano mentioned before.
警察も沼を調べたそうだけど、遺品がいくつか見つかっただけで遺体は発見できなかった。
The police investigated it, but all they could find were several possessions. They never found the corpse.
警察は偽装自殺を疑って今でも探してるらしいよ。
The police suspect it was a fake suicide, and they're still investigating it now. Someone dies every year, and in the same way, someone goes missing every year. Clemency for Rika and Satoko's lives. I don't think you're unreasonable for that. Are you trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means and dumped at the bottom of the swamp, still alive and drowned to death? The curse? That's unbelievable in its own right.
その翌年には、なんだっけ、ダム推進派の男の弟夫婦の奥さんだっけ
In the next year, what was it, the Demperor and sister-in-law?
が殺されたんだよな。
She was killed. So at that time, someone else vanished?
消えました。
Someone did disappear.
北条聡君っていう私と同い年の男の子です。
There's a boy around my age named Satoshi Hojo.
殺された主婦の義理の甥にあたります。
He's the nephew by marriage of the woman killed. Shion cut in with a slightly strong tone of voice. She knew the boy who had disappeared pretty well. At least, that's the vibe I was getting.
まあ、ざっとこんな感じね。
Well, that about sums everything up.
必ず一人が死んで、必ず一人が忽然と消える。
One person always dies, and one person always suddenly disappears. Leaving the suddenness aside, Fact was that each incident involved one person disappearing.
じゃあつまり
So that means
一人目が死ぬのはお社様のたたりで、二人目が失踪するのは村人が生贄に捧げてるからだって言うんですか？
first person who dies is because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, and the second person who vanishes is because the villager sacrifices them? Is that it?
ケイちゃん、たたりなんかないです。
Kei-chan, there is no curse.
誰かがお社様のたたりという名で一人目を殺し、誰かがその生贄として二人目をさらってるんです。
Somebody kills the first person under the guise of the curse, and someone takes away the second person to be a sacrifice.
でもシオン、それじゃあ村の中に犯人がいるってことになるんだぞ。
But Shion, that means the criminal's in the village.
私は初めからそう睨んでます。
That's what I've been guessing from the start.
結構ショックですよ。
Pretty shocking though, you know? Don't hit the sawi. You can't do
この
that.
昭和の時代にそんな古い因習で人殺しが堂々と行われるなんて。
We live in the Showa period. It's kind of hard to believe people are committing murder like it's nothing, using some ancient justifications, huh? It didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I got the feeling that maybe Shion didn't like Hinamizawa very much. Mion enjoyed talking about Hinamizawa and its epic tales. So she had avoided talking about Oyashiro-sama's curse, which didn't paint Hinamizawa in a good light no matter how you looked at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. She, on the other hand, was somehow different. She wasn't rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Hinamizawa of this bad impression, rather because she strongly believed that a member of the village was the criminal behind this. Her conviction seemed a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the people of Hinamizawa. Once upon a time, they looked so alike you could mistake one for the other. But talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling that Shion had a completely different personality than Mion.
じゃあ皆さんはhinamizawa沢の誰かが
Did Shion be the sacrifice? We'll see. Then everyone else, they all think someone from Hinamizawa did it, right? Neither Shion nor Takano-san answered that. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said.
じゃあ重ねて質問します。
Let me ask another question.
hinamizawa沢の誰かが犯人なら犯人は誰なんですか？
If someone from Hinamizawa is the culprit, then who is it? Neither Shion nor Takano-san had a reply to that question either. Though it may have been rude to ask, I'd hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason I asked was to argue that their explanation that the culprit was from Hinamizawa was nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan, gave a pained smile at my petty spite, and opened her mouth to speak.
私が言ったのは所詮状況証拠ですからね。
All I said really just amounts to circumstantial evidence anyway.
具体的に犯人の名前を知ってたなら警察に突き出してます。
If any of us knew who it really was, we'd have gotten them into police hands already. As with anybody. What about Takano-san? She too smiled dryly as Shion hadn't opened her own mouth.
ね
Well,
初めに誤解を解いておきたいんだけど、
I'd like to clear one thing up.
別に私は探偵さんのつもりはないのよ。
I'm not a detective or anything, alright?
本音を言うとね、犯人が誰かなんてことには興味ないの。
In all honesty, I'm not really interested in who the culprit is.
高野さんも困った人だな。
Takano-san, you sure are a handful. Tomitake-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter.
私はね、
You see,
古式ゆかしい残酷な風習やおとぎ話に興味があるだけ。
I just like cruel and atrocious ancient traditions and fairy tales. You scare me, lady.
知的好奇心で面白がってるだけなの。
I only enjoy them from a curious onlooker's perspective.
だから一連の事件も犯人は誰かってことよりも事件の存在自体が古い因習がまだ根深く残ってることの証拠だって思って面白がってるくらい。
Takano, you aren't making this look better for yourself? No, she never has. The last time she showed up, she was also being hella creepy. So even for this string of incidents, it's not so much finding out who the culprit is, but enjoying thinking about how the old traditions displayed by the incidents themselves still seem to have some pretty deep roots around here. Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, Her smile was as sharp as the tip of a blade. A woman like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend.
私は全然面白くないですけどね。
Well, I don't think any of this is interesting at all.
明日はいよいよ綿流しのお祭りですけど、誰にも死んでほしくないし、誰も消えてほしくないです。
The Watanagashi festival is coming up tomorrow, but I don't want anyone to die or disappear.
明日か。
Tomorrow, huh? That's right. It completely slipped my mind. The string of murder incidents people attributed to Oishiro-sama's curse. It wasn't over. If last year's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night at the festival, would someone die? Would someone disappear?
明日は一体誰が死んで誰が消えるのかしらね。
I do wonder who will die tomorrow and who will disappear, though. Takano-san said, running a comb through her hair with elegant movements, with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the incidents that could happen tomorrow. Then, out of the blue, we heard a loud round of applause. It seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right, I was making Mion wait this whole time, wasn't I? I should go back to her soon.
高野さんもからかいすぎだよ。
You're teasing the kid too much, Takano-san.
圭一君がすっかり真に受けてしまったじゃないか。
Now Keiichi-kun thinks it's all true.
ごめんなさいね。
I apologize.
また悪い癖が出ちゃったみたい。
It's that bad habit of mine again, said Takano-san, sticking out her tongue bashfully. Strangeness in her expression was nowhere to be found.
高野さんはね、純粋そうな子を見るとからかいたくなる悪い癖があるんだよ。
When Takano-san sees an innocent child like you, she can't help wanting to poke fun at them. It's a real bad habit. Well, maybe she should stop.
圭一君が真剣に聞いてくれるもんだから、ついつい調子に乗っちゃったみたいなんだ。
Keiichi-kun, you listened to everything so earnestly that she ended up getting carried away. Unlike Takano-san, Tomitaka-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they'd given me.
高野さんが今した話はあくまでもフィクションだからね。
The stuff Takano-san just said is all fiction.
もしもさっきの話で圭一君がひなみ沢に持ってたいい印象が傷つけられてしまったなら、純粋に申し訳なく思うよ。
If it made you harbor any bad impressions about Himenizawa, then we apologize for that.
もう二郎さんたら。
Jeez, Jiro-san.
高野さんも謝った方がいい。
You apologize too, Takano-san.
怖がらせてしまってごめんなさいってね。
Only sorry for scaring him. Takano-san and Tomitaka-san were arguing and messing around now. The strained air around us had already dissipated.
ケイちゃんもそろそろ戻った方がいいです。
Kei-chan, you should get going soon too.
お姉は嫉妬深いですからね。
Mion is the jealous type.
私は顔を合わせると喧嘩になりそうだから、このまま帰ることにします。
If she sees me, she'll probably start a fight, so I'll just be going home.
そうなのか？
Really?
じゃあ俺はミオンのとこに戻って待たせたことを謝るかな。
Then I'll go see what Mion's doing and apologize for making her wait, I guess.
迷惑をかけたね、圭一君。
Sorry for being such a nuisance, Keiichi-kun.
ミオンちゃんに圭一君を長く借りすぎて申し訳ないと伝えてくれないかな。
Could you tell Mion-chan we're sorry for borrowing you for so long?
あ、はい。伝えても機嫌は直さないと思いますけど。
Yes. I don't think telling her will make her feel any better, but sure. Tomitaka-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle.
じゃあね、ケイちゃん。
Okay then,
明
Kei-chan.
日のお祭り、どこかですれ違えるといいですね。
Let's try and run into each other at tomorrow's festival.
会えるよ。
We'll see each other.
どうせ俺たちのことだ。
I mean, it's us we're talking about after all.
賑やかにやってるに決まってる。
We'll be making so much trouble, it'd be hard for you not to find us. Shion and I said our goodbyes to Tomitaka-san and Takano-san. Before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us.
私の話を真剣に聞いてくれてありがとうね。
Thanks for listening so earnestly to what I had to say.
前原くんがあまりに聞き上手だったんで、話しててとても楽しかったわ。
Just so good at listening. I had a great time talking to you.
聞き上手なんてそんな。
Good at listening? No, not at all. I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shocking topics being thrown at me one after another.
今日した話。
Did you like my story today?
まあ、興味深かったです。
Well, it was pretty interesting.
ならまた今度も聞いてくれる？
And I'll tell you some more sometime, okay?
ひなみ沢の昔話とかおとぎ話にも興味深いものがたくさんあるの。
There's a lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about Hinamizawa.
もちろん薄気味悪いのがたくさんね。
Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones too.
私特選のをたくさん披露するわよ。
I'll choose a bunch of my favorites and tell you about them. It looks like she touches parts, not hearts. I've never heard that one before. I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. I can't help but smile dryly and scratch my head. Okay,
もう行っ
bye.
てもいいんだよ。
Keiji-kun, you can go now.
高野さんがからかっているだけさ。
Sakana-san's just messing with you. They say goodbye again and run off. I heard Tomitake-san call out behind him in a clear voice that we would see each other at the festival tomorrow. Tomitake mode on! When I went to the tent, Mion was waiting for me, and she was nowhere to be found. She touches Tomitake's moves? Probably. I bet he likes that. I made her wait so long. Maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I heard that she went home talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But my regret for having made Mion wait wasn't enough to triumph for the impression Takano-san and Shion's uncanny story left on me. Serial murder incidents had happened 4 years in a row. Would tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Hinamizawa was carrying this all out under the guise of the curse. A queer tradition of ritual sacrifice, entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we lived in. I regret it a little, though it was too late. None of those creepy stories had anything to do with me. And I should have let Mion pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. Is that the chapter, or just a break? That's probably the chapter. We've been going for like an hour and a half. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of tips. Oh, the kerning on that is not great. Helps up the festival? Of course. From the scrapbook. 1. Oyashiro-sama's curse. In the ancient Onigafuchi village, the anger of Oyashiro-sama, its curse, was feared above all. However, it is seldom stated anywhere what eventually happens and what sort of divine judgment, curse, befalls them when Oyashiro-sama is angry. From various reports, all hell will break loose. Demons will come flooding out. The miasma from hell will flood outward and kill every villager, letting not a single one escape. The ones evoking images of the village being annihilated stand out the most. These terrifying ideas of divine punishment are in alignment with many other religious beliefs regarding the apocalypse, hell, and it's easy to imagine that they are just ways of convincing people to obey the teachings in order to prevent such an end. The conditions for inciting Oishiro-sama's wrath are likely the same as the taboos on Onigafuchi village. I believe that when an act was performed that violates one of these taboos, Oishiro-sama was termed angry. And in order to quell his anger, they would perform the aforementioned sacrificial ritual. Call up the Doom guy? Yeah, let him fight Oyashiro-sama. From the scrapbook 2! Human sacrifice ritual. The sacrificial ritual was a simple drowning involving plunging sacrifice into Onigafuchi swamp, which was considered hallowed. Of the rituals of Onigafuchi village, this one was unique in that the sacrifice would sink slowly over the long course of 3 days and 3 nights. I believe that it wasn't so much the killing of the sacrifice that was important, but rather the symbolism of them sinking as the submerging of Oishiro-sama's anger. For that purpose, they must have had a passion for learning various methods for keeping the sacrifice from sinking too quickly, to force them to sink more slowly. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell from the records, those methods were not recorded. My thoughts are that they may have used logs or some similar material to create a raft, then set up a scaffold on there, hung the sacrifice up with ropes, and let them sink little by little over time to the swamp. However, if that were the case, it would not be strange if the ritual implements used for such a ceremony were honored as holy and enshrined somewhere. Number 3. Implements used for the ritual. Ritual tools utilized for ancient religious ceremonies are commonly referred to as implements or ritual implements. And even now, some of them are enshrined on the property of the Furude Shrine and the three families. However, the identifiable tools are all decorative, and none appear to have been used in ritual governing the dark side of Onagafuchi village. As the Edo era came to a close and many traditional rituals were lost, were they lost as well? Perhaps buried in the darkness? I don't believe so. Well, the implements used on the night of the feast of Onikakushi and those used during the sacrificial ceremony must still exist, enshrined away from the eyes of the masses. Without a doubt, they exist here today at this very moment in Hinamizawa. Also, I'm nearly certain where they've been enshrined. What was once locked steadfastly has, for some reason, changed this year to a cheap-looking padlock. May be able to do something about such a lock. However, it is not far from the assembly hall, nor is it ever far from the presence of people. However, I will not give up. The night when it becomes a blind spot to every villager in Hinamizawa is coming soon. Soon it will be Watanagashi. This is no good. These notebooks make me think it's Takano-san. Is she gonna fucking break in and try and steal ritual shit? Don't do that. If the curse is real, I think Oyashiro's gonna be pissed. Oh, what a mood shift. Haha, happy music. Haha. Wow, so happy. Hey, are you worn out already? Tomorrow's the real thing. We're be partying until morning, until the very end of it all, got it? Got it, I'll give it everything I've got. Alright then, youth is the greatest. Good work, everyone. Tomorrow's Watanagashi at last. Let's get some shut-eye in and save our energy for tomorrow night. Tomorrow is finally Watanagashi. Festivals are split into two groups, those who enjoy them and those who support them. The former really need to prepare their minds, but the latter needs not only that, but also painstakingly crafted plans and preliminary arrangements. While the general majority attending goes about enjoying the festival without a care in the world, it will be strained the whole way through. Why? You sure as hell know why. Because the beer after everything's over is the best damn beer you'll ever have. At times like these, it's best to have energetic, physically fit people. It wouldn't be worth it if you didn't do your best till the very end, enjoying it the whole way. Oh, he's here. Wishi-san came in. Everyone hurried to stand up.
Hi, 皆さん、お疲れ様ですね。そのままで結構ですよ。
Hello, everyone. Excellent work out there. You can be at ease. Thank you, sir. Not even my seniors, who usually talk big about themselves, can hold a candle to Uishi-san. We all bow as if we were one of the cheering squads of old. Kurado Uishi. A detective just waiting to retire. One who doesn't pay much mind to rules and regulations, and doesn't do too much in the way of real work. He looks like a rotten old man with a penchant for dirty jokes. My seniors, though, tell me he was a real fighter in his younger days, and that he may or may not have quite a heroic legend trailing behind him. Anyway, he surely had much more dignity and presence in the room than the section chief who came in with him. Everyone, I really thank you for your hard work on the preparations for the festival tomorrow. Is everyone excited for the Watanagashi? I'm so excited. I hope no one dies. Everyone present stands upright and lends their ears to the chief's directions.
各員一層気を引き締め、犯罪の抑止のために任務を全うしてください。
We're on heavy alert for any thrill-seeking criminals expecting another incident like last year. I need all of you to focus your energy as much as possible on your mission to prevent any crimes from happening. Yes, sir.
何も起こらなければ一番いいんですがね。ですが皆さん、
Sorry, I interrupted him. Of course, it'd be best if nothing happened. However, everyone,
必ず事件は起こると考えてくださいよ。
please assume that an incident will, in fact, occur.
抑止が一番ですが、まあ多分無理でしょう。今年も誰かが死んで誰かが消えます。
Prevention is number one, but it probably won't be enough. This year, too, someone will die and someone will disappear.
もう間違いなく。
There's really no doubt about it. Everyone apart from the section chief smiled painfully.
大井さん、そんなんじゃ困るよ。もっと真剣にやってくれなきゃ。
Oishi-san, that won't do. We need to be more serious about this.
肝心なのは祭りの夜を越すことじゃないんです。明日の夜、起こった何かに迅速かつ徹底的にどこまでも食いついていくこと。
The important part isn't to get past the night of the festival. It's to be able to quickly, swiftly, and aggressively pursue whatever does happen tomorrow night.
気合い入れてくよ。兜の尾を引き締めてき。
I won't tolerate anything less than your best. Clench those cheeks.
お社様のたたりの化けの皮を完璧にひっぺかしてやるぞ。
We're gonna rip all the skin off the ghost of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Yeah. I mean, people want to see this. You can always watch later. The VODs are all available. You can always go back and watch them. They're all in a playlist conveniently because I make it. We should save. Bada bing, bada boom.
本当に伝えたいのは違う言葉だった。本当に感じたいのは
Oh my.
違う心だった。すれ違いが溝を生み、ためらいの気持ちが人を恐怖へと沈ませる。もう誰も止められない。冷たい感情がむき出しの心を深く残酷にえぐってゆく。綿流し。
Awesome.
なぜあの時とつぶやく後悔の言葉。それはもはや虚しい響きだった。
Hi, Rena. Hi. What's up? I don't know what that was all about.
ケイチくんだ。おはようなんだよ。だよ。
It's Keiichi-kun. Good morning, good morning. Rena was ecstatically waving her arms at me, already brimming with energy.
おはようって、もう夕方だぜ。
What do you mean good morning? It's already evening.
こんにちは、だろ。
To say hello or something.
でも今日ケイチくんにする最初の挨拶だからやっぱりおはようがいいな。
But this is the first time I've seen you today, so I think good morning is right. It's right.
わかったわかった。
I got it, I got it.
じゃあおはようでいい。おはよう、レナ。
Okay, then good morning it is. Good morning, Rena. I grabbed Rena's head and rubbed her with my hand. She squirmed, reveling in the motion like a cat. Back away. Oh, hi, Mion. Hey, Kei-chan.
昨日は申し訳なかったね。黙って帰っちゃってさ。
Sorry about yesterday. I left without telling you.
ああ、それを言うなら俺の方が悪かった。
No, it's my fault.
ミオンをずっと待たせっぱなしでごめんな。
Sorry for making you wait so long.
昨日のお祭りの準備のことかな。
Are you talking about setting up for the festival yesterday? The anime is probably my favorite show of all time, but I honestly regret watching the anime before reading the visual novel. I do have intentions to watch the anime after playing through this game. So, if you're interested in seeing that in the future, that will probably happen. I mean, I probably won't be able to have it on screen like this, because I'll probably get copyright claimed. But, like, I probably do face cam with it, and I probably have a timer on the screen to be like, hey, sync it up with me and watch along, because I know a lot of TV show reaction YouTubers do that, right? Unless I can just put it on screen without trouble, but a lot of shows you can't do that, so.
どうだったケイチくん。
How was it, Keiichi-kun?
しっかりとお仕事してた？
Did you do your job properly? Slight muscle pain throughout my body and my sluggish movements were already obvious.
頑張ってたよ。
I did great.
へばってたけどね。
I'm pretty worn out now, though. I grin dryly and the three of us break out into laughter.
サトコとリカちゃんは
Where's Satoko and Rika-chan?
祭り会場で合流か
Are we meeting up with them at the festival?
うん。
Yep.
リカちゃんはほら、大切なお勤めがあるから昨日からずっと。
Rika-chan's actually been there since yesterday because she has such an important job.
さとこちゃんもそのお供だそうだから、もう二人とも神社にいるよ。
I think Satoko-chan stayed with her, so they're already at the shrine. Right, I just remembered. Today was Rika-chan's big performance. She's been practicing especially hard for this day. As her friend, I needed to make sure I went and cheered her on.
よっしゃ早速行こうぜ
Alright, let's go right away. Yeah! Wow. The day goes by so fast. As we got closer to the shrine, we started passing by more people and seeing a lot of parked cars. It began to get noisier too. I thought I could hear something like a Bond dance song. Without being able to restrain my impatience, I dashed up the entire flight of stone stairs.
ケイチくん早いよ。待って。
Ichi-kun, you're going too fast! Wait for me!
たくケイちゃん、お子様なんだからな。
Man, Kei-chan, you're such a little kid. Wow! Oh, the shrine grounds. They're packed with people. There's a festival if I ever saw one.
うわあ、今年も立派だね。すごいね、すごいね。
Wow, they went all out this year too. Amazing, amazing.
南沢中から出てきてるんだろうな。
They're coming from Hinamizawa.
ありゃ、君吉分家の寝たきりじいさんまで来てるじゃない。
Huh? The veteran old man from the Kimiyoshi branch family's here too.
あのじいさん、去年の綿流し以降、ずーっと布団の中で過ごしてたんじゃないかな。
I think that old guy went home from Watanagashi last year and stayed in bed ever since. Yeah, there were a lot of villagers here that I didn't really know. They must have all been pouring in just for today.
あ、
Oh,
さとこちゃんだ。
Satoko-chan. Hey! What's up, kid?
皆さんでございますの。
Oh, if it isn't everyone.
こんにちはですわ。
Yes, hello to you all.
ようサトコ
Yo,
今日
Satoko.
はすごい人手だよなはぐれて迷子になるなよ
There's a lot of people today. Don't get lost in the crowd, okay?
誰が迷子になるんですの？
Who do you even think you're talking to? Satoko too seems somehow energetic. Of course, I'm the same way.
あれ？リカちゃんは？まだ自由時間でしょ？
Huh? Where's Rika-chan? She still has free time, doesn't she?
リカは村長さんたちと挨拶してましたですわ。
Rika was giving her respects to the mayor and other important people.
すぐに来るでございますわよ。
She shall come before long. I see. Rika-chan is the shrine maiden for today's festival, after all. It's probably a pain for her to say hello to all the elders.
実に大変なのですよ。
It really is a pain.
こんにちはなのです。
Hello, everyone.
はあ、リカちゃん。お持ち帰り。
Rika-chan, I want to take you home. Yeah. Rika-chan wore an immaculate shrine maiden outfit that looked fresh off the shelves. It was a perfect fit for her somehow mystical appearance.
どう？
How's it fit?
丈とか長すぎない？
Not too long, is it?
バッチャからもしも袖がかかるようならって安全ピンを預かってきてるんだけど。
My grandma gave me some safety pins just in case the sleeves are too long.
大丈夫なのです。
It's alright.
実に快適なのですよ。
It really is comfortable. As she spoke, she began to do some twists and stretches.
いいね、いいよね。これかわいいよね。は
It's great, it's so cute. We did not need to hear the moaning on it from Minor. You need to learn, Rena just does this. She sees something cute and she freaks the fuck out. She's been doing this. There's approximately one person here getting a nosebleed from watching Rika-chan move. You get used to it.
可愛いと思わないかな。かな。
Ichi-kun, don't you think she's cute, don't you?
思わないならレナノになっちゃうからお持ち帰り。
She also has a bad habit of seeing cute things and wanting to take it home. She thought that statue of Colonel Sanders I was talking about earlier was cute, and so she got me to drag it to her home, and now she has that. If you don't, this should be all mine, and I'll take her home with me.
すごく可愛いと思うぞ。
I think she's really cute.
かなり活かす。
Totally cool.
父兄のふりをして写真を撮りまくりたいくらいだ。
Enough that I wanted to pretend to be her big brother or dad and take pictures with her.
2点から撮影して立体視できるようにすれば、立体の生リカちゃんが自宅でいつでも眺め放題。
If we take a picture from 2 different places and make it stereoscopic, we can eat, or rather stare at a real-life Rika-chan at our house whenever we want. That sounds great. That sounds fantastic. Rena's eyes and mine glittered with stars as our nose bled and we drooled. Normally, Keiichi does not get into this talk with Rena like this. I guess they're both in agreement for once.
あいつらに近寄ると大変ですわよ。
Rika, you'd best stay away from them. I agree.
閉じ込められるかもしれないのです。
Yes, or I might get locked away in a basement somewhere.
その割にはリカちゃん楽しそうだけど。
You look like you're enjoying it though, Rika-chan.
ミーがひどいことを言うのですよ。
Me, you're being harsh. We all laughed together again.
じゃ、もたもたしないで祭りを回るかね。
Okay, let's not hang around here. Let's get to the festival.
リカちゃんの出番までそう時間がないでしょ。
There's not much time left until Rika-chan's big debut.
そうだな。よっしゃ、行こうぜみんな。
You're right. Great, let's go everyone. Yeah!
よ
Yo!
園崎のお嬢ちゃんじゃねえの。
If it isn't the daughter of Sonozaki.
食ってきな。
Eat up!
豚肉たっぷりの焼きそばだぜよ。
The yakisoba is packed full of pork.
今年はイカリングまで入ってるボリューム派や。
This year we filled it up as much as we could. We even put in fried calamari.
へい親父。
Gotcha, old timer.
今年の焼きそばもなかなか力作じゃないの。
The yakisoba this year looks like quite an achievement.
イカまで入れるとは今年は奮発してるね。
You have squid too. You put a ton of time into this, didn't you?
へえ、美味しいね、美味しいね。
Do I have to pay to get more through the noises? There's no amount you can pay me. I'm not doing them. Wow, it's tasty, it's tasty.
ああ、イカってのは食ってもうまいが、それ以上に匂いが香ばしいんだよな。
I do not need a soundbite of me making Rena's noises just floating on the internet for anyone to have. I don't want that. That would be disastrous. I'm not doing it. Yeah, the squid is delicious, but the aroma is just fantastic.
軟弱になりがちな歯ごたえも実に見事に補ってる。
It wonderfully compliments for how soft it tends to be.
イカと豚肉のボリューム感は実に素晴らしい。
There's a delightful amount of squid and pork in it too.
うん、悪くない出来だ。
Yep, not bad at all, I say.
へえ。
Aha.
ケイちゃんって何気に料理番組の司会とかに向いてるね。
Ketchin, you sound like you could walk into a cooking program and become the host. Yeah.
ケイチくんが美味しそうに食べてると、なんだかいつもよりもずっと美味しそうに感じるもんね。
When I see Keiichi-kun acting like it's so good, it somehow tastes even better.
俺はうまいものはうまいっていう主義なんだよ。
I saw that comment. You can delete it, but it doesn't go off screen. It's enshrined there forever, at the bottom there in the text chat. You can't hide anything from me. I don't discriminate among delicious food.
だから俺がうまいっていうものは、とりあえず試してみる価値があると思うぞ。
So anything that I say is tasty has got to be worth trying out, right?
ではケイチ、
Then
こ
Keiichi,
の焼きそばの評価を改めてどうぞなのですよ。
please give us your opinion of this yakisoba again.
一言で言うとだ。
I'll do it in 2 words. Fucking disgusting. Never mind. Absolutely scrumptious.
胃袋がもう一つあるんだら、迷わずもう一つ買ってるな。
If I had a second stomach, I'd buy another one right now. Having heard my 3-star rating, a whole line of people suddenly formed in front of the yakisoba stand.
お、すごいよ。
Wow, that's amazing.
ケイちゃんがあんまりにも美味しそうに言うもんだから、集客効果バッチリだわ。
$20,000 USA? I heard the first person say it. No, I'm not doing it. Agent said it was so good that a little crowd started to form. Not bad. It was nothing to brag about, but I still decided to stick out my chest and put on airs. Mm-hmm.
あら、そうなんですね。
Oh, is that so?
では、私も挑戦してみましたよ。
Then perhaps I shall try it
お
out.
じさん、おじさん、たこ焼き一つくださいますこと？
Mister, could I perchance bother you for one takoyaki? Can't talk tonight. You can't just say perchance. Satoko bought a stick of takoyaki, balls of fried octopus, from the adjacent stand, and after blowing on it, put one of them into her mouth. Did you do it for a Marky snack? I'll think about it. $40,000 USA? Why do you want this so bad? How is it, Satoko-chan? If you give it a good rating, then Rena will buy it too. Chomp chomp, chew chew. Gulp. Now it's time for Hinamizawa's very own food critic, Judge Satoko Hojo, to give her impressions. Though she was all for it a moment ago, Satoko hesitated to give her thoughts. Hey now, what's the matter? Everyone else takes one of their own and puts it into their mouths. $80,000 USA? You don't have any of that money. Huh? Rena got gipped. I don't know that word. Do we trust Judge Satoko? I trust her. Mine's bad too. There's no octopus in it. I would do voice noises for free because I am literally Rena. I believe you. But I can't believe you. Because you can't prove you're Rena. And also she's right there. This takoyaki vendor. This guy sucks! Could this be some sort of summer festival only octopus-free takoyaki stand? An evil takoyaki stand that skimped on the octopus because they figured it would make them good money today. 160,000? You keep raising the dollars! Mine has some. Yeah. It's pretty good considering there's octopus in it. How am I supposed to explain that this octopus-free takoyaki is any good? Everyone wondered about that. Our quizzical looks seem to be drawing equally dubious stares from the people in line. How about this? Takoyaki without any octopus is really healthy. And even people who don't like octopus can eat this delicious takoyaki. After hearing that, several surprised guests left the line. It had the exact opposite effect. We have a great deal of influence about whether or not people go to these stands. I think we have too much power. Alright then, I'll give it a try next. A self-inspired take on takoyaki, in which you can clearly taste the simple flavors of the flour, green onions, and pickled ginger. The unaffected taste is bolstered by the absence of octopus. It wasn't half bad, but after hearing the "there's no octopus in it" clause, even more people left the line. Rika-chan, any good comments? You can be honest. 400 yen is too much for this. Yeah. I was too honest. Even more customers leave the line, dealing a lethal blow. There were other takoyaki stands around after all. Well, I mean, we might not want to be doing this. 640,000? You are desperate! Hey, Satoko. You started all this, so give us a great big turnaround. I cannot do it. How do you expect me to lavish praise upon takoyaki without any octopus in it? Ah, you idiot. Satoko's angry outburst was the finishing blow. Customers are all gone. Huh? The guy's staring at us. Why is that? Why is that? There's no saving this crowd. Perhaps I, Keiichi Maibara-sama, will lend a generous hand.
圭一ならきっとなんとかできますですよ。
$1,280,000 and a box of marquee treats? You know what? Sold. If you can... Sold. If you can get me $1,280,000 and a box of marquee treats. Sure. Keiichi-kun, you could do it.
タコなしたこ焼き屋さんを助けてあげてほしいのです。
I want you to save the takoyaki vendor who didn't put any octopus in.
笑顔でトゲのあることを言うな。
Don't smile as you say something so bitter.
まあ、わかった。
Alright, fine.
俺がプロの技を見せてやるから、よく見てろよ。
This may be the only chance you'll get to see a pro at work, so watch carefully. I shoved the stick into an octopus-less takoyaki and crammed it into my mouth. As before, there wasn't any octopus in it. But Mion's had some in it. That was the important point.
このたこ焼き屋の
Alright,
親父
Keiichi,
さん
sell
は
this.
本当の意味でたこ焼きが好きなんだ。
The man who runs this takoyaki stand. He truly loves takoyaki in every meaning of the word.
いや、愛してると言っていい。
No, it could even be said that he adores it. Huh? Everyone gasped in surprise, including the takoyaki vendor glaring at us.
あの親父さんは本当にたこ焼きが大好きなんだ。
This man truly does love takoyaki,
大好きだからこそ、いい加減なたこ焼きを作りたくないんだ。
and because he loves it, he doesn't want to create half-hearted random ones.
そうだね。親父さん。
Isn't that right? The takoyaki vendor looked down, unsure. Those watching were listening intently, wanting to know why octopusless takoyaki deserves such a high rating.
でも圭一さん、そんなにたこ焼きが大好きなら、どうしてタコなしたこ焼きなんか作りますの？
Keiichi-san, if you really and truly love takoyaki that much, why did he make takoyaki without octopus at all?
たこ焼きに対する裏切りではございませんの？
Is he not betraying that very takoyaki?
そうだな。
You may be right.
ある意味裏切りだ。
In one sense, it is a betrayal.
だが、
However,
これは親父さんにとっての最大限の妥協点なんだ。
it's the best possible compromise this man could find.
親父さんは今日だって本当のたこ焼きを作ってるよ。
This man is making real takoyaki today, as he always does.
でも、それはこの中のほんの一つか二つでしかない。
However, only one or two of them on each stick are the real ones.
まあそうだね。
Well, you're right.
私の食べた一つにはタコは入ってたし、
When I had octopus in it,
タコが入ってる分にはそんなに悪い味じゃなかったよ。
and considering it did actually have it, it didn't taste bad at all, you know?
そう。
Right.
それが本物のたこ焼きだ。
That was a bona fide takoyaki.
それ以外のたこ焼きは8個入ってなきゃたこ焼きじゃないという一般人の先入観への最大限の妥協なんだ。
And as for the other ones, it was the biggest compromise you could make against the biases of the general populace, who all think that there need to be 8 pieces on the stick, or else it's not real takoyaki.
圭一君の言う意味がわからないよ。
Huh? Keiichi-kun, I don't understand what you mean.
どうして本物は一つで他は偽物なのかな？かな？
Why is one of them the real thing and all the others are fakes? Why?
その秘密はタコにあるんだ。
The secret lies in the octopus.
親父さん、このタコ、本物の明石のタコだね。
Mister, this octopus. It's true Akashi octopus, isn't it?
近年、明石のタコの水揚げは激減して、とても高騰しているんだ。
In recent years, the number of octopuses caught in Akashi has decreased, and their prices have risen dramatically.
たこ焼きなんかにとても使えないような、とても高い値段になってしまってるんだ。
The prices are now so high that you wouldn't think of using them in takoyaki. Then the man who had been looking down this whole time mumbled.
ああ、そうよ。
Yeah, that's right.
明石のタコはすごく高いんだよ。
Akashi octopus. It's very expensive.
でも親父さんは、明石のタコにこだわったんだ。
But this man absolutely had to have the Akashi octopus.
安物のいい加減なタコを使えば、いくらでもごまかせるのに。
He could have bought much worse quality octopus for cheaper, as much as he wanted, and he would still have been able to fool everyone.
明石のじゃないのに明石という上りを立てて販売してるインチキたこ焼き屋はいくらでもあるのに。
There are plenty of other scamming takoyaki vendors who claim theirs are from Akashi, even though they're not.
親父さんはごまかさなかった。嘘をつかなかった。
But this man wouldn't accept it. He wouldn't tell lies.
タコは明石。
Akashi octopus are supreme.
この一点だけを、かたくなに譲らなかったんだ。
He would never relinquish this one stubborn conviction.
親父さんはたこ焼きを愛してた。
This man loved takoyaki.
だから嘘をつけなかった。
That's why he never lied.
でも、どうしても一点だけ強いられる妥協点があったんだ。
Yet, there was one point that he absolutely had to compromise on.
それは何ですの？
What might that be?
数さ。
The number.
たこ焼きってのは一船8個がポピュラーだ。
The popular opinion is that a stick of takoyaki should have 8 pieces on it.
いくら本物の明石のタコだからって言って400円で1個だけってわけにはいかないだろ。
Even if it's real Akashi octopus, he couldn't charge 400 yen for just one piece, could he?
でも8個にしなくては買ってもらえない。
If he didn't have 8 pieces, nobody would buy them.
だから親父さんは涙を飲んだ。
This man wept over it.
本物のたこ焼きを一つ作るために残り7個に嘘をつくしかなかったんだ。
In order to make just one true piece of takoyaki, he would never let himself lie through the other 7. Oh, whoa. The octopus-free takoyaki vendor burst into tears. I gently clapped one of his shoulders.
みんなが何と言おうと、俺はあんたの純粋さを忘れない。
No matter what anyone else says, I will never forget how genuine you are.
あんたこそは本物のたこ焼き屋なんだ。
You, sir, are a true vendor of takoyaki.
あんただけがたこ焼き屋を名乗っていいんだ。
You're the only one in the world with the right to call himself that. Oh shit, it's working. As I embraced the shoulders of this man, shedding his manly tears, those watching delivered a round of applause moved by my speech.
さあみんな、
Everyone,
この本物のたこ焼き屋のたこ焼きをどうか食べてやってくれ。
I beg of you, please, eat some of this true takoyaki vendor's takoyaki.
こんな純粋な男を大事にしなくて、どうして本当のたこ焼き道が守れようか。
If we don't treasure genuine men like this, then how can we protect the true path of the takoyaki?
みんなが食わないなら俺が食うぞ。
If nobody else will eat them, then I will eat them all.
見てた人たちがみんな並ぶよ。
Whoa, everyone watching is lining up.
ケイチくん、やったやった。
Ichi-kun, you did it, you did it! Everyone now is gonna be like, wow, that kid's for real, I'm gonna go buy some. They're gonna take one bite and be like, damn, paid 400 yen for this? This shit's ass!
たこ焼きが美味しそうに感じたってより、ケイちゃんの味演説が面白かったからだろうね。
I think it's more they thought Keiichi-chan's propaganda speech was interesting rather than the takoyaki actually looked good.
ケイちゃんってガマの油売りとかやったらかなりウケるかもしれない。
Kei-chan, you could probably sell plain old rocks if you tried.
スーパーの実演販売でもやればウケそうですよ。
You would do well at product demonstrations in a supermarket.
怪しい万能包丁とか売りつける仕事に向いてそうですわね。
I suspect you'd be good at selling... I'd be good at... I can't talk. I suspect to be good at selling off suspicious wonder knives. Absolutely stunned at my successful pitch, the guy manning the stall next to this one called out to me. Oh shit, am I doing advertisements all night? Free me. Hey, you guys, do that for my sweets too.
よし、要領はつかめただろう。
Great, you all get the gist of it, right?
今度はレナが行け。
It's your turn this time, Rena.
よーし、頑張るよ。
Okay, I'll do my best.
はうあんず飴が冷えててとっても美味しいんだよ。
When apricot sweets are cold, they're very, very good.
水飴の上にね、ちょこんってあんずが乗ってるの。
The apricot is sitting so quietly and nicely on top of the syrup.
はうかわいいね。
It's so cute.
お持ち帰り。はう
I want to take it home. It looks like she lost herself in this midway through. But a girl giving it such natural praise was itself bringing in some customers. A line was quickly forming behind Rena.
今度はお好み焼き屋だ。
Next up is the okonomiyaki stand.
サトコ、行け。
Satoko, you're up.
えっと、
Rather, well...
焼きそばに揚げ玉入りでカリカリなのがとっても美味しいでございますわね。
The crunch of the fried tempura batter mixed with the yakisoba is simply to die for.
大きなベーコンが丸ごと敷いてあってかじるとほらピローンって出てきてはっはっはっ
With a huge bite of bacon laid on top, when you bite into it, it all comes flooding out. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
おお、
Yeah!
うまいうまい。
That's freaking great!
それなら俺も食ってみたくなる。
Now I want to try some too. Then a huge line formed at my words. What on earth is this? So basically, all these onlookers are just following us around to all the stands.
みんなのを聞いてから食べるといつもよりずっと美味しく感じるからなのですよ。
When people hear about food from others and then try for themselves, it tastes a lot better than it normally would. So that's it. Even Rika-chan was gorging herself on the food, getting sauce on the bib she put on to prevent her shrine maiden outfit from getting dirty. Yeah, it's really risky wearing this white outfit that's very important to this.
よーし、おじさんも盛り上がってきたよ。
Nice, the older guys are getting into it too.
よし、ケイちゃん、私はどれだ？
Okay, Kei-chan, which one should I do?
よっしゃミオはさらにその隣の露店へ行けミオンの底力を見せてみろ
Right. Mion, you go to the stand next to that. Show them the depths of your power.
あれでもケイチくん、お隣のお店は
Huh? But Kei-chan, the stall next to that is... Whoops. A goldfish scooping stand. A bit out of our element. I want a drawing of Rika wearing a bib? So do I.
相手が何であれ逃げられないね。
No, as club president, I won't flee no matter who or what my opponent is.
やってみるよ。
Let's get started.
ミオンさんのお手並み拝見でございますわ。
I look forward to a splendid performance, Mion-san. The onlookers were also watching Mion with hopeful eyes.
いらっしゃい。
Welcome, welcome.
はいよ。網とワン。
Here's your net and bowl.
よし
Ah!
やるぞ
Back off. Okay, here we go.
金魚はみんな生きがいいね。
The goldfish are energetic today.
実に美味しそう。
They really look delicious.
この小さいのなんか、そのままボリボリと生でいけちゃうよね。
Small things like these, you could crunch them down whole. I don't think that's the point. Mutter, mutter.
ミオンさんは何を言ってるんでございますの？
Mion-san, what in the world are you saying?
みーちゃん、食べてたの？
Mi-chan, you eat them?
去年レナからもらったのも食べちゃったの？
Did you eat the one Rena caught last year too?
違う。私そんなこと言ってない。
No, I didn't say anything like that. Mion's face went red and she shook it vehemently in denial.
いやでも今ミオンお前自分で言ったぞ実に美味しそうだって
Well, I mean, you said so yourself. They look really delicious.
ええ、
Ah!
確かに言いました。
Get out of here! Who invited you? Yes, you did indeed say so.
お姉って雑食ですから、口に入れば何でも食べちゃうんです。
My sister is omnivorous. She eats anything that can go in her mouth.
美味しいなら今度僕も試してみるのです。
If they taste good, then maybe I'll try one next time. No, Rika, no, 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 they're not for eating, they're pets.
ダメだよリカちゃん、お腹壊しちゃうよ。
No, Rika-chan, don't, you'll get sick. Wait a second. Hey, what the hell? Shion, how long have you been here?
はーい。ケイちゃんにお姉にみんな、こんばんは。
Hey, Kei-chan, Mion, everyone. Good evening. She freaks out every time Shion shows up.
あんたどこから湧いてきたのしよ
Where did you come from, Shion?
焼きそば屋さんの時からずっとです。
I've been here since the bit with the yakisoba.
お姉たちは騒がしいからすぐに見つけられました。
You were also allowed that I found you right away.
もう
Jeez.
あんたは関係ないでしょ
You've got nothing to do with this, do you?
早くどっかへ消えなさいよ
Go somewhere else already.
もうお姉もあまり私を邪険にしないでください。
Jeez, Mion, don't treat me so cruelly.
ね、ケイちゃん。
Right, Kei-chan? Hey, leave me out of this.
私が一緒でもいいですよね。
You're okay with me being here, right? I don't want involvement in this. Ah! Back off! She asked, grabbing my arm and pushing her chest into it. Stop it! No, 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 no. No means no. Bounce. No, 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 no. No means no.
ケイチくん、鼻血出てるよ。
Kichi-kun, you're a pervert. Your nose is bleeding.
ところてんを押したらニューって出てくるだろ
When you squish a jelly donut, the jelly comes out, right? Okay, bro.
あれと同じだ
It's the same.
これは抗いようのない現象なんだよ
This isn't something I have any control over. Okay, bro.
へえ、そうなんですか？
Back up! Yeah, is that right?
じゃあ力を入れたらもっと出てくるかな。
Then will more come out if I squeeze harder? Back up! No, back up! No, back up! Get out of here! That's what I'm saying! Shin, what the heck are you trying to do? How vulgar. I seem to have misjudged you. About my flat chest. You are like 8. Stop it. Do not. Ah! 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 Thank goodness. I hope I died. Shion, Rika-chan, and I, our faces now bruised, fell to the ground, limbs sprawled. Shion, you are a terrible influence. Look what you made Rika do. She doesn't know any of that stuff. She's like 8. I don't think she's 8. She's like 11 or something. But still, not right. Nice job, Rena. Everyone's so dirty. That's what I'm saying. Rena punched me. That's honestly surprising. It really hurts. Rika, you get what you deserve. Sheesh. Now that Shion was here, the energy around us had increased by 120%. Get her out of here. She's not part of my club. You are not a part of the club. Your friends are so much fun, Mion. I never get bored of them. You are a weirdo. Get out. Right. If you weren't here, it'd be way more fun, you know. I want to stay with you all, but if I continue seducing Kei-chan, my sister looks like she's literally gonna bite my head off. So I'll retreat for now. I'll be back. See you, Mion. Don't be back. Get the salt! Someone get the salt! After teasing her older sister so much, Shion ran away into the crowd of people and disappeared. I feel that I've borne witness to a rare side of Mion-san. When Mi-chan is with Shi-chan, she looks kinda cute. Uh-huh. Rena smiled happily, earning her a whack on the head from Mion. Mion putting Shion like Fredbear? I should draw that. Don't say dumb stuff. Let's get to the next stand already. Is this the worst night of Mion's life? We went about just like that, really noisy and lively to the other stands. We were paying money towards the beginning, but midway through, the guys running the shops thought we were just too funny and ended up being able to fool around with without paying much more. Thump. The vigorous sound of a big taiko drum echoed through the air. Rika, looks like it's time. Yep, looks like it. Right, just about time for Rika-chan to appear in the offertory dance. Offertory. Honestly, the night at the toy store last stream was probably a lot worse. There's competition for the worst night of our life. All I know is it's been in the last week. I'm a little nervous. Believe in yourself. All your sweat will definitely amount to something, Rika-chan. Mion slapped hard on Rika-chan's back. Oh, ouchie. That's right. You'll do fantastic, Rika. I'll do my best. Yeah, that's the spirit. I ball my hand into a fist and raise it into the air. We're rooting for you, Rika-chan. Go for it, yay! Remember? Go for it, yay! Rika-chan gave the best smile I'd ever seen, then pivoted on her heel and ran off.
じゃあ私たちも行こうよ。
Okay, we should get going too.
そうだな。応援してやろうぜ。
Right, let's go cheer her on.
ダメですのよ。
You mustn't.
演舞中は静かにしていないといけませんでございますわよ。
You must keep silent during the performance. I got it, jeez. I rubbed a hand through her hair. He was worried about our good friend up to the end.
なら急いで行かないと。
We better hurry.
いい場所がなくなっちゃうよ。
All the good spots will be taken.
行こう。
Come on. Mion ran off, and everyone else followed a moment later. A large amount of people had already clustered into the tight space to watch the edifying dance.
こりゃすごい人出だな。
Wow, this is a lot of people. I turned around to look at everyone else, but nobody was there. Where did everyone go? They probably got lost among all these people. Finally, I spotted the back of Mion's head on the other side of the crowd. Definitely doesn't look like I can get over there. Well, we got separated. No big deal. We can just meet back up when Rika-chan's dance is over. I gave up on finding the others and wandered around, trying to look for a place where I'd be able to see better. It didn't take long for me to realize I'd have to settle for watching between the heads of the people in front of me, though. Thump. Once again, an even louder taiko drum resounded. This one was to announce the beginning of the dance. I couldn't see very well, but it seemed like Rika-chan had come on stage with the elders, who were in priestly garb. I heard low exhalations of admiration and the seniors rubbing their prayer beads in gratitude. Everyone's heads were in the way, and I couldn't see. It was really frustrating. We should have cut playtime short and come here to get good spots earlier. After Rika-chan intoned the prayer, she took the festival hoe and walked to the pile of quilts stacked on the altar. That's right. The point of the ceremony was to purify bedding and to hold a memorial service, wasn't it? Then, the solemn offertory dance began. She had practiced using a mochi-pounding mallet. The awkwardly shaped festival hoe Rika-chan held seemed really heavy. Back and forth, up and down. It was doubtlessly difficult to even lift in the air, but she sweated and waved, raised and dropped it again and again. She couldn't just deal with it and do it grudgingly. As a shrine maiden, she needed to retain the dignity and solemnity present at this festival. Solemnity. There must be a ton of pressure on Rika-chan's shoulders right now. Damn, why am I cheering her on from a place I can barely see her? I'm her friend, so I should be right up in the best spot rooting for her.
ケイちゃん、こっちこっち。
Hey-chan, over here. No, 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 no! Someone tugged lightly on the back of my shirt collar. It was Shion. She beckoned me outside the crowded ring of people. She had a mischievous grin on her face, and I took it as her saying she knew a good place somebody else knew of. Nobody else knew of.
シオンなんだなんだ
Shion, what's up?
黙ってついてきてくださいね。
Just be quiet and come with me. No, I don't want to. As she told me so, she ran in a big detour around the throng. And it's great to have someone who knows the lay of the land here at times like this. Impressed though I was, I nearly lost sight of her right away. No more getting separated from me. I ran after her so that I wouldn't be left behind. As I wondered in anticipation what kind of secret spot Shion had in mind, we left the crowd of people and went around to the back of the shrine grounds.
おいおいどこ行くんだよ
Hey, wait, where are we going?
これじゃあどんどん離れちゃってるぞ
We're getting further and further away.
黙ってついてくればわかりますから。
Just stay quiet and follow me. You'll understand soon. I don't trust like this. Shion gave me a wink that reminded me of Mion as she said that. No sign of people and not much moonlight. It was dark. We had gotten pretty far away from the crowd of people on the shrine grounds. We're supposed to see Rika-chan's dance from here.
そっかどこか高いところがあるんだな
I see. There's some high spots around here, isn't there?
屋根の上とかそういうところから見下ろそうって言うんだろ
Like a rooftop or somewhere we can look down at, right?
はい。なんで屋根に登んなくちゃいけないんです？
What? What if I climb onto the roof?
だってそうじゃなかったらどうやってリカちゃんの演舞を見るんだよ。
Well, how else are we supposed to see Rika-chan's dance?
リカちゃまの演舞なんか見たかったんですか？
Did you really want to see Rika-chama's dance? Yes, she's my friend. I want to cheer her
ケイ
on.
ちゃん、ひょっとしてストライクゾーンものすごく低くありません？
Kei-chan, could it be that your strike zone is really low?
なんだか話が微妙に噛み合わないぞ。
I don't think we're understanding each other here.
お前は俺をリカちゃんの演舞がよく見える場所に案内してくれるんじゃないのか？
Weren't you going to show me somewhere I could see Rika-chan's dance from easily?
はい。誰もそんな約束してませんよ。
What? Who made that promise? Nah. What's going on? Why me? Why do I always misunderstand Shion? Is it my fault? Am I just reading the wrong things into it?
じゃあお前は俺をなんでこんなところに呼び出したんだよ。
Then why'd you call me all the way out here? With an expression that indicated she wasn't fooling around, Shion pressed her index finger to my lips and said slowly and quietly, "This place is a dark, dead, empty spot. You can't see it from the festival grounds, and now a male and a female the same age are all alone together." No, 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 no! Could this be? Shion, she's not playing something crazy again, is she?
あれを見てください。
Look over there, see? Shion whispered, pointing to the dark underbrush. And then we saw two figures, one male and one female.
なんだありゃ。まさか。
But what's that? Is that?
相敵の生現場に決まってるじゃないですか。
We're right at the scene of the rendezvous, of course.
よく見てください。
See, look closely.
誰だかわかります？
Can you tell who they are? Speak up! I can't hear you. Peered intently into the dark at Shion's suggestion. Oh, it's Tomitake-san and Takano-san. The two of them were clearly breathing quietly and glancing around to make sure nobody knew they were there, as they crouched before the entrance to a wooden storehouse-like building. No, she's gonna steal the shit.
まさかシオン、これを見せたくて俺を呼んだのか？
Wait, Shion, could this be what you wanted to show me?
ケイちゃん、リカちゃまの演舞は毎年見られるけど、こういうのは二度とお目にかかれませんよ。
Kei-chan, you can see Rika-chama's dance any year, but you won't ever get another chance like this, okay? I thought the Sonozaki sisters each had their own personalities, but at times like this, they seemed all too similar.
俺は帰るぞ。二度とこんなのに呼ぶなよな。
Going back, don't call me for something like this again.
今動いたらバレちゃいますって。
If you move now, they'll see us. At our nosy argument, Takano-san suddenly turned around.
あらあら、どなたかしら？
Oh my, who might that be? We held our breaths and tried to wait it out. It seemed like Takano-san was now acutely aware of our presence. Shin and I exchanged glances, then gave up and climbed out from behind the bush.
どうもこんばんは。
Well, hello there.
お月様の綺麗ないい夜ですね。
The moon sure is beautiful tonight, isn't it?
あらあら、
My, my.
シオンちゃんに前原くんじゃない？
It isn't Shion-chan and my Barakun.
こんばんは。月の綺麗な夜ね。
Good evening. Yes, the moon certainly is pretty.
おやおや、ケイチ君も隅に置けないね。
What's this? Ichikun, you sure are smart, you know that?
こんなところで相引きかい？
Having a secret date in a place like this?
だとしたら、僕たちとんでもないお邪魔をしちゃったかな。
Then I guess we accidentally interrupted something important. You're the ones who were meeting up secretly. Tomitake-san and Takano-san laughed at themselves, and it got on my nerves for some reason.
ってことは、富武さんたちは相引きしてたってわけじゃないみたいですね。
Wait, so you two weren't having a little rendezvous then?
それはもちろん違うよ。
Of course we weren't.
そういうロマンスも嫌いじゃないけどね。
Though I don't dislike that kind of romance.
残念だけど、あなたたちが覗き見したくなるような相引き現場じゃないのよ。
Unfortunately, this wasn't the location of a rendezvous either of you would want to see.
期待に添えなくて申し訳ないわね。
Sorry for not living up to your expectations.
相引き現場じゃなかったら何してるんですか？
If this wasn't a rendezvous, then what were you doing?
富武さん、
今扉の南京錠をいじってませんでした？
Tomitake-san, were you messing around with the padlock on the door just now? No. Huh? After she said that, I looked at the two of them again, and I definitely saw it. They were hunched in front of a warehouse door, fiddling with a pretty heavy-looking padlock.
バレちゃしょうがないな。
Guess we've been found out, huh?
僕たちが倉庫破りをしてたなんて内緒だよ。
We were trying to break into the warehouse, but don't tell anyone, alright?
内緒って、それ、泥棒ってことですか？
Don't tell anyone? You thieves or something? I demanded unthinkingly just because of how absently Tomitake-san was grinning.
いやーね。
Nah, never.
泥棒ってのは物を盗む人たちのことでしょ。
Thieves are people who steal things, right?
別に私たちは物を持ち出そうとしているわけじゃないのよ。
It's not like we were trying to take anything out of here.
へえ。
I see.
じゃあ何のために鍵開けなんかしてるんですか？
Why are you trying to unlock the door?
ここ、開かずの細具殿ですよね。
This is the forbidden storehouse for ritual tools.
フルデ家とほんの一握りの人間しか入ることが許されないっていう。
They say only the Furude family and a mere handful of others are allowed in. Forbidden storehouse? I took a few steps back at that and looked on the entire warehouse. It certainly looked like one, built removed from any signs of people, almost as if in secret. It was filthy, revealing how little it was ever opened. And it was built to be durable, giving a strange, overpowering impression. Now that I looked at it more closely, it was certainly different than normal warehouses.
ここはね、
This place,
細具殿といってね、
they're called ritual implements.
細具をしまっている倉庫なの。
Basically, this is a warehouse where they store such tools used in rituals.
いえ、細具を祀っている神殿と言ってもいいかもしれないわね。
Well, more accurately, maybe it's a temple where the implements are enshrined.
リカちゃんが奉納演舞で使っている祭事用のクワも、今日までこの中にしまわれていたものよ。
The ritual hoe Rika-chan is using for the offertory dance was inside here until today.
もちろん、フルデ家の人間以外は、
Of course, if anyone but the Furude family
汚
enters,
れを持ち込むから立ち入り禁止の不可侵領域。
they bring impurity into it, so absolutely no one is allowed a single step inside.
聖域なの。
It's a sanctuary. Shouldn't we absolutely not be coming to a place like this then? However, Takano was wearing a childlike expression, innocent smile at best, and terribly cruel grin at worst.
私、ひなみ沢の昔語りや伝承を趣味で研究してるって言ったわよね。
I told you I was researching Hinamizawa's folktales and legends out of an interest in them, didn't I?
私の知的興味のさまざまな答えがこの中に詰まってるの。
A lot of the answers to questions I'm curious about are hidden away inside here. Okay, look, I know earlier I was saying we should form like a Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. type deal, but I'm kind of rethinking it. I don't want to break in here.
この中に入れるチャンスを今日までずっと待ってたんだから。
I've waited all this time until today for this chance. A chance. Everybody's eyes were fixed on the dance at the shrine grounds today. This was the ultimate blind spot.
へえ。
I see.
富武さんに鍵開けの技術があるなんて知りませんでした。
I didn't know you had lockpicking skills, Tomitake-san.
あ、よしてくれよ。
Stop it.
僕だっていやいややってるんだよ。
I don't want to be doing this, okay?
付き合わせてしまってごめんなさいね。
Sorry for taking you along with me, but
でも、二郎さんのおかげよ。
this was all thanks to you, Jiro-san.
感謝してるわ。
I really am grateful.
やれやれ。
Sheesh.
でも高野さん、こういうのはこれっきりにしてくれよ。
It's the only time, understand, Takano-san?
こういうところに黙って入り込むのは。
I don't want to be sneaking into places like this.
やっぱり二郎さんはいい人ね。
You really are a good person, Jiro-san. For clink. Tomitake-san undid the padlock and placed it to the side.
開いたよ。
It's open.
ありがと
Thank you.
う。いよいよね。
At long last. Takano-san gulped. With an unusually excited air about her, she gave the heavy door a shove. A sharp smell of mold and dust flowed out from the gap in the doors. I claimed curses didn't exist, but in this situation I could believe in them. If we went to such a holy place with our shoes on, feels like we could be punished somehow.
どう？
How about it?
あなたたちも共犯なんだし、
You're accomplices too.
せっかくだから一緒に見学しない？
We came all the way here, so why not come in and take the tour?
ひなみ沢の皮脂を埋める貴重な文化遺産の見物会よ。
It'll be a little field trip to a museum of precious cultural artifacts that conceal the secret history of Hinamizawa.
今日だけの限定会館。
And it's only open today.
別に俺たち共犯ってわけじゃ。
We're not accomplices or anything.
面白いと思いません？
Back off! Aren't you interested, though?
ねえ、覗いてみましょうよ。
Come on, let's take a peek. Shion said, predictably linking her arm with mine.
でもこれは絶対いけないことだよ。
But we definitely shouldn't be doing this.
神聖な倉庫なんだろ？
This is a holy warehouse, isn't it?
祭具殿って言ったっけ？
You said ritual implements, right?
ますます勝手に入っちゃまずいよ。
I really feel like we shouldn't go in.
私は一応園崎の人間ですから、この中にあるものはおおよそ想像がついてます。
I'm a part of the Sonozaki family, so I have a good guess as to what we'll find in there.
でも、それはケイちゃんにも見てもらいたいものです。
But I want you to see it too, Kei-chan.
俺に見てもらいたいもの？
You want to show something to me? I thought it was just a ploy, but Shion's eyes looked entirely serious. Of course, she was the sort who could lie with a straight face. Of course, I was an average boy, too. My curiosity was at least twice that of a normal person. Sleeping, forbidden treasures, never to leave this warehouse. Chances like this don't come around too often. If I had to choose then, I want to see. Still the locked door's open, though. I don't know about this.
面白くないって思ったら、ケイちゃんはすぐに出ればいいです。
If you're not interested, Kei-chan, then you can leave now.
きっと興味を惹かれると思いますけどね。
I think you'll wonder about it later, though. Tomitaka spoke after listening to our discussion, having himself having sat down on the stairs to take a short rest.
僕がここで見張っててあげるから。
I'll keep watch here.
一緒に見てきてごらん。
Go in and check it out with them.
僕はあまり趣味じゃないけど。
I'm not too interested.
ケイイチ君みたいな若い男の子には結構面白いかもしれないよ。
But it might be pretty interesting for a young guy like you, Keiichi-kun. He said, laughing mischievously. There was no ill will in his laughter.
富武さんはこの中に何があるのか知ってるんですか？
Tomitaka-san, do you know what's in here?
まあね。
Kind of.
高野さんにたっぷり聞かされてるからね。
Takano-san told me all about it.
相方の特殊な趣味に付き合わされる殿方も大変ですね。
Must be a pain to have to go along with your companion's unique hobbies, huh? Tomitaka-san didn't answer that, only responding with a pained smile. Takano-san had this kind of scary air about her, like she dropped absolutely everything for something else she had an interest in and go straight for it, but... Tomitaka-san, on the other hand, seemed like the gold standard of what a normal person should be. Having him tell me so frankly to go check it out suddenly made the guilt feel lighter.
じゃあちょっとだけな。
Okay, but just a little.
面白くなかったらすぐ出るぞ。
If it's not interesting, I'm leaving. You got it. Shion gave me another Mion-like wink.
決まったみたいね。
Looks like we're decided.
じゃあ行きましょうか。
Shall we go inside?
次郎さん、留守番をお願いね。
Jiro-san, we'll leave this to you. Tomitaka-san waved his hand to see us off. Ceiling. The inside was pitch black. Takano-san turned on the battery-powered lantern she'd brought, revealing a pretty cramped front room.
真っ暗だね。
So dark in here.
みんな転ばないように気をつけるんだよ。
Everyone take care not to trip over anything.
ご心配ありがとう。
I appreciate the concern.
じゃあ、門番をよろしくね。
Okay, doorman, keep a good watch.
ここ、閉めるわよ。
We're shutting the door now. Oh, joy. Takano-san smiled spitefully, as if leaving Taka-san out of something fun, and began to close the door.
やれやれ。
Man.
じゃあみんな、ゆっくり楽しんでおいで。
Alright, everyone, have fun. Just a heads up, say it fast. There's a low, heavy, and loud noise. You don't like what's here? Great. There's low, heavy, and loud noise, and we were completely cut off from the outside world and covered in silent darkness. Takano-san's lantern was the only light we had.
大丈夫よ。
It'll be fine.
予備電池も入ってるアウトドア仕様なんだから。
It's an outdoor lantern with backup batteries inside.
消えたりなんかしないわよ。
It won't go out or anything. After Takano noticed my uneasy expression, I couldn't help but blush a little and avert my gaze. Deeper inside, there's a heavy and old but sturdy door with solemn decorations on it. It was the last door sealing away what was within.
ただの倉庫なのに前室があるなんて変わってるでしょ。
Strange how it has an antechamber even though it's just a warehouse, isn't it?
一度に1枚ずつ扉を出入りさせることによって西宮殿の中が外に見えないようにする工夫だと考えられるわね。
I believe it's set up this way so you open one door at a time, never letting the room with all the tools be seen from the outside. Takano-san explained this, awfully impressed by the construction. But still, it's really dark in here. Huh? That over there, it's... I spotted a circuit breaker hanging from a clump of wiring, clumsily attached to the wall.
あ、これ明かりのブレーカーか何かじゃないですか?
Oh, here, isn't this the light switch or something? I flipped the biggest switch I can find, and with a click, the pitch-black room was illuminated by an old bare light bulb. Everyone scrunched up their faces at the sudden strobe-like brightness.
ダメです。
Don't! Before she even finished, Shion slapped my hand and flipped the switch back. There's another loud click, and the room returned to darkness, with only the lantern for illumination. Ow.
ダメです、ケイちゃん。
Can't, Kei-chan.
私たちここに忍び込んでるんですよ。
Snuck in here,
明
remember?
かりなんかつけたらバレちゃうかもしれないじゃないですか。
Turn on the light, it might give us away. I'm scolded by Shion fairly harshly. It looked like she was worried about whether someone had seen them from the momentary light.
大丈夫よ。
It's alright.
本当に一瞬だし。
It was only for a moment. Takano-san remained a relaxed adult. It seemed like she was confident she could talk her way out of it if someone did see us.
さあ、入りましょう。
Let's go in.
よいしょっと。
Here we go. There. The even heavier door opened, and this time, it wasn't just the dust that came out with the air. There was also a nasty smell. One smell was like opening a dust-filled cupboard in the back of a kitchen that had been opened in years. And the other smell, the nasty one, was hard to explain. It was like the raw odor of a fish market. From how the sound echoed, this room felt far larger than the first. Takano-san held up her lantern and revealed the contents of the expansive room. Whoa. At the back wall of the storehouse, right in front of us, was a Buddha-like holy object, standing there looking down at us. I was taken aback by its unseen force, lit up by the slender beam of the lantern.
あれがひなみ沢の守り神、お社様よ。
That's the guardian god of Hinamizawa, Oyashiro-sama. What are all these utensils? That is torture stuff.
社にあるのよりずっと立派ですね。
It's far grander than the one at the shrine. Oyashiro-sama. So this is the spirit protecting Hinamizawa. The one guarding the Holy Land of Hinamizawa from the impurities of the outside world, and the one delivering punishment after punishment upon those who attempt to sully the land with the dam construction.
想像してたよりたくさんの細具が収められているようね。
It looks like there are far more tools stored here than I thought, but
でも残念。
this is so sad.
どれもあまり手入れがされていないわ。
None of them have been maintained.
状態が悪いのが悔やまれるわね。
How unfortunate that they're in such a state. Even in the dim light, I could see a lot of strange objects lining the walls, ceiling, and shelves. They're just decorations. Takano-san, speaking as if in a trance, was infatuated by the various implements filling the dark room. They weren't very festival-like or traditional, but instead, this was more like the workshop of a blacksmith or a carpenter. There were a lot of large wooden and metal tools packed in here. Putting it bluntly, it was all pretty boring stuff. I'd imagine there would be more autistic things in here from the Heian period, but they're a far cry from being cultural artifacts. My expression betrayed my dashed hopes, and they caught on right away.
あら、
Oh,
面白くないかしら?
is this not interesting for you?
俺は文系でも美術系でもないんで、
I'm not into literature or art,
あ
so
まりこういうのを見てもよく価値がわからないです。
I can look at this stuff, but I don't really understand its value.
圭一君はよくわかってないみたいね。
Ichikun, you really do look like you don't get it.
無理もないけれど。
I guess that's only natural. Takano-san reached into a paper bag that she'd been holding the whole time, took out a worn scrapbook, and began to flip through it.
じゃあ、圭一君のために昔話でも聞かせてあげようかしら。
And just for you, Kichikun, I'll tell you an old story.
この地方では一般的な昔話よ。
It's a common tale in this region.
図書館に行けば、教育委員会推薦の本にも載ってるくらいにね。
If you go to the library, it would even be on their recommended reading list. Telling stories in such a dark, creepy place? You must have a horror story in mind. Shion's face belied nothing but calm. If she had the same personality as Mion, she'd have found fault with me being scared. I'll endure for now and pretend to be calm.
いい?
Okay.
じゃあ、読むわよ。
Alright, I'll read it. After confirming that I was going to be quiet and listen, she began to speak softly, like a kindergarten teacher reading a picture book.
昔々、ある山奥の村にね、沼があったの。
I talked over, I'm sorry. Long, long ago, in a certain village in the mountains, there was a swamp.
その沼はね、底なしの深い深い沼でね、
The swamp was very, very deep. Some even called it bottomless.
地の底の鬼の国につながっていたんですって。
People said it was connected to hell, the land of demons. Rumors said that it was deeper than the ocean, and that anyone it swallowed would sink into the underworld, a bottomless swamp. Its name was Onigafuchi. Wait. I thought back to the story I heard yesterday about the sacrifice sinking in the bottomless swamp. Could that be the swamp she's talking about?
ってことは、その村はひなみ沢ですね。
So in the village was Himizawa, right?
察しがいいわね。
You catch on quickly.
そうよ。
That's right.
当時は鬼ヶ淵村って呼ばれてたけどね。
Though it was called Onigafuchi Village at the time.
鬼ヶ淵村。
Onigafuchi Village.
物騒な響きのある名前だな。
That's a pretty inauspicious name.
イメージもあったんでしょうね。
It evokes quite the image, doesn't it?
明治の頃に今の名前に改称されたって聞きました。
I hear that the name was changed on the Meiji period. The name of the swamp connected to hell was called Onigafuchi, which meant the demon's abyss. And the true name of this village, Hinmizawa, was Onigafuchi Village.
村人たちは鬼の国、つまりは地獄のことね。
The villagers belonged to that abyss, or to hell in other words.
鬼の国とつながるという沼を崇めながら過ごしてきたの。
They lived their lives worshipping the swamp said to connect to it.
でもね、ある日のこと。
But then one day... Oh my. I'm gonna need that for the thumbnail. Demons began to appear, one after the other, from deep in the swamp. The villagers feared that hell was overflowing. The demons mercilessly attacked the villagers. They could only watch in fear. They could do no more than hide themselves and tremble.
で、誰かが鬼を退治するわけですか？
So did someone exterminate them?
残念だけど、このお話には桃太郎みたいな正義の味方は登場しないわ。
Unfortunately, there is no Momotaro Superman in this fairy tale. It's a fucking Yujiro? That's what I thought when it popped up.
村を挙げて戦うわけですか？
And did they get the whole village together to fight them?
まさか。
Heavens no.
村人たちに鬼と互角に戦える力などあるわけもない。
The villagers weren't nearly strong enough to fight on equal terms with the demons.
じゃあ、村を捨てて逃げるしかないですよね。
Then the only recourse would be to flee the village.
それも無理ね。
They couldn't do that either.
村人たちにとっても 村は大切な郷里だったから。
To the villagers, it was their beloved homeland.
どんな恐ろしい鬼が攻めてきたからといって簡単に逃げ出せるはずもなかったのよ。
It didn't matter how terrifying the demons. They wouldn't have run away so easily.
じゃあどうするんですか？
Then, what did they do?
滅びるしかないじゃないですか。
Wouldn't they just get wiped out? Unable to fight and unable to run. All they could do was wait for the village to be destroyed. Then, when everyone had lost hope, their god, Oyashiro-sama, descended unto them.
なるほど。
I see.
つまり天からやってきたお社様が鬼たちをやっつけるわけですか。
So Oyashiro-sama came down from the sky and beat up all the demons then.
ケイちゃんは男の子ですね。
Such a boy, Kei-chan.
すぐに腕力で解決する方に走るんですから。
He always jumped straight to using force to resolve things. Shion sighed, a little annoyed. Embarrassed, I held my tongue.
お社様はね、
The thing about Oyashiro-sama,
やっつけるとかそういう暴力的な神様じゃなかったの。
he wasn't a violent god who would beat them up like you're saying.
もっと優しい慈愛のある神様だったの。
He was a kind god, filled with love and benevolence. Oh yeah? Then why is he cursing all over me, man? The strength of Oyashiro-sama descended from the heavens couldn't be compared to that of the demons. They didn't even fight. They simply prostrated themselves before his radiant authority. Oyashiro-sama urged them to go back to hell from whence they came. The demons wept and challenged him, saying they could never return.
鬼たちの世界にも厳しい戒律があってね。
The world of the demons, too, has harsh commandments.
彼らは地獄を追放された鬼たちだったんですって。
Yo, what's up, Axel Cosmos? They claimed they had been banished from hell. Demons didn't have a place to go, neither in hell nor in the human world. Of course, they were at fault for attacking the village. They deeply reflected on it and were sorry.
村人たちも話を聞くうちに少しずつ気の毒になっていったわ。
As the villagers conversed amongst themselves, little by little they came to pity the demons
そ
and,
れでね、村のみんなで話し合った結果、鬼たちと一緒に住むことを決めたの。
after talking with everyone in the village, they decided to live alongside them.
退治するとか追っ払うっていう昔話は多いけど、共存ってのは確かに珍しいですね。
A lot of fairy tales have them being exterminated or driven away, but you don't often hear one where they live in peace.
ですよね。
You're right.
鬼ってのは元来諸悪の象徴のはず。
Demons are supposed to symbolize all
それ
evils.
との共存を決めたというお話なんだから本当に変わってます。
The story where they decide to live together with humans is certainly strange. When the demons first heard the villagers' invitation, they doubted their ears, but soon burst into tears of joy. The villagers had given them a place to live. It was said that in payment for this good deed, the demons shared their many kinds of power and secrets with the villagers.
お社様はその微笑ましい交流をとても喜んでね。
Oyashiro-sama was very pleased with this happy exchange.
鬼たちが村人と分け隔てなく暮らせるよう人間の姿を与えたんですって。
He gave the demons the bodies of humans so they'd be indistinguishable from the villagers.
そして自らも地上にとどまり末永く両者の交流を見守ることにしたんだそうよ。
He himself decided to stay on the surface and watch over the everlasting peace between them. A land in which man, demon, and god lived together. I thought the word demon was a noun meaning evil that needs to be exterminated. A god may have mediated for them, but you don't often hear happy endings like that where both sides live in harmony. I see. Guess it is kind of interesting.
普通のおとぎ話ならここで終わりなんだけどね。
Although the normal fairy tale ends
この
there,
お話は江戸時代にだいぶ加筆されたみたいで、まだまだ続く随分と長い話になってるわ。
it was revised quite a bit during the Edo period into a much longer story. After that, the humans and demons intermixed, and eventually there was no difference between them.
鬼の存在は結局 村に溶け込んで消えてしまったということですか？
So the demons ended up disappearing?
いいえ、
No,
消えたりなんかしないです。
not at all.
半分はしっかりと残ってたそうですよ。
Half of them stayed just as they were. The knowledge the villagers had received from the demons basically made them into something inhuman, what people call transcendent. They were well aware the power they had was heresy, and as those below worshipped them, they lived out their lives in secrecy.
このお話がね、その後に派生するたくさんの昔話、フィクションの原点になってるの。
This story is the root of many derivative tales and pieces of fiction.
だからこのお話がある意味基礎中の基礎。
It's the foundation, I mean.
ベーシックね。
The basis.
原点ってどういう意味ですか？
What do you mean by a root?
村人たちは鬼の血を引いているという部分ですね。
She means the part about the villagers having demon blood.
つまり、この辺りに伝わる様々な伝承や昔話は、全部その村の人たちは鬼の血を引いているというのが前提になっているんです。
What I mean is, all of the legends from around here are based on the premise that the villagers are descended from demons. There was a hint of amusement in Xian's face as she said that. It was like she wanted to say that she too had demon blood in her. Is there any proof, though? Maybe it's somehow rooted in historical fact beyond just fairy tales.
あら。
Oh,
じゃあ前原くんは沼から鬼が現れて人間と交わったっていうのは本当にあった出来事だって信じてるのかしら？
Abara-kun, then do you believe that demons really did come out of the swamp and breed with humans?
信じないわけじゃないんですけど。
Well, it's not that I don't believe it, but... When she said demons, she meant the ones from hell, but... In ancient Japan, the word wasn't necessarily used to denote only that kind, right? The more well-known use involves the drifting foreigner theory. As the story goes, Westerners who were shipwrecked in nearby seas had such markedly different customs that they were called demons. Japanese people were relatively similar in appearance to other Asians, but everything about those from the West was different. Their physiques, their faces, and their skin color. In Japan, terms like red demon and blue demon evoke images especially of Westerners. Lacking in skin pigments, Westerners would sunburn easily and turn red. Being fair-skinned, I think blood vessels appearing on their skin would look blue, too. A handful of accidental aliens were driven to Japan and came under persecution, being called demons. They would flee into the mountains to survive, turn into bandit groups, and attack villages for food and the like.
なんて説はどうでしょ
How does that explanation sound?
う？ちょっと子供じみてますかね。
Maybe it's a bit childish. Takano gave me a weird smile when, having come up with such an impromptu hypothesis, I unconsciously followed it up with self-deprecation. Still, she didn't smile as if to make fun of me.
別におかしくないわよ。
It's not ridiculous.
実際に漂流異人説を唱える人もいるもの。
There are a lot of people who subscribe to the drifting foreigner theory.
でも実際はどうなのかは誰にもわからない。
Even so, nobody actually knows what happened.
山賊化した異人の集団だったのか、本当に地の底から来た鬼たちだったのかね。
Were they groups of foreigners who had turned to banditry, or were they really demons who had come from the bottom of the world?
じゃあ、高野さんはどっちを信じてるんですか？
Then, Agnes-san, which one do you believe?
真相は別にして、夢のある方を信じたいわね。
The truth of the matter aside, I'd rather believe the more fantastic explanation.
その方が面白いでしょ。
It's more fun that way, isn't it? Her answer made her sound a wee bit like a romanticist. Here, I thought she'd reject unrealistic stories like that.
さて、
Now then,
いよいよここからよ。
this is where
面白くなるのは。
fun begins. What do you mean by that? Takano-san brought an end to her storytelling and waits for a moment as if to tantalize us.
Huh?
Suddenly, Shion looked around as if something had caught her eye. Her head bobbed to and fro like she was making sure nothing had changed.
どうしたシオン？
What's wrong, Shion?
ごめんなさい。気にしないでください。
I'm sorry, please don't worry about it. Shion pretended as though nothing had happened. Ferguson also made sure nothing had happened, then cleared her throat and broached the next subject.
村人たちに半分鬼の血が流れてるのは話したわね。
I explained that half of the villagers have demon blood.
実はその血なんだけど、鬼は鬼でも人食い鬼の血なんだって言われてるの。
That blood, they actually say it's the blood of the kind of demon that eats people.
人食い鬼ですか。
Man-eating demons?
急に物騒な響きになりましたね。
That escalated quickly.
その血は今でも村人たちには脈々と流れていてね。
That blood still runs through the villagers' veins.
時折その血が眠りを覚ますと言われているわ。
They say that sometimes the blood awakens from its slumber. I thought the fairy tale had a happy ending, with the humans and demons living in peace. But it began to suddenly change into a brutal, bloody story.
人食い鬼だから。
Well, they eat people.
何十年かに一度、どうしても人肉が食べたくて仕方がなくなる周期があるんですって。
They say that every decade or so they can't help but want to feast on human flesh.
だからって村人同士で共食いするわけにはいかない。
The villagers can't eat other villagers.
だから彼らはその度に人里へ降り、鬼隠しをしたと伝えられてるわ。
So when this happens, it's said they descended on the human villages and conducted onikakushi.
何ですか？鬼隠しって。
What's an onikakushi?
平たく言えば、鬼たちによる誘拐行為よ。
Broadly speaking, it's when a demon kidnaps someone, when a person is demoned away.
鬼ヶ淵村の村人たちが人里に押し寄せ、哀れな生贄を無理やり力ずくでさらったんですって。
They say that the villagers of Onikafuchi would overwhelm unfortunate human villages in order to kidnap sacrifices. Takano-san's explanation was plain and simple. When I imagined what it must have been like, it was terrifying. They lose their human reason. The villagers turn into real demons en masse. They attack the villages they loathe in the dirty world of the masses below. And then they try and kill and eat their sacrifices.
それじゃあ鬼と何ら変わりないじゃないですか。
So they're no different from demons after all.
お社様はどうしたんです？
What did Oyashiro-sama do?
その村にとどまって人々を見守ってるんじゃなかったでしたっけ？
Was he supposed to be staying in the village and watching over them?
もちろん、お社様も了承してたそうよ。
Oyashiro-sama knew about it, of course.
だから鬼隠しは無差別ではなく、神様が決めた生贄以外には誰もさらわなかったらしいし。
Onikakushi isn't indiscriminate. The villagers apparently never kidnapped anyone other than the sacrifices decided upon by their god.
ほとんどの場合は一人か二人だったって記されてるわね。
In the text, it's usually one or two people. The village inhabited by both human and inhuman. It was like the heartwarming episode's colors had inverted like negative film, revealing the painful, ugly truth.
そうして生贄をさらってきた夜にはね。
So on the nights when they stole away villagers,
哀れな犠牲者を美味しくいただくため、綿流しの儀式が開かれたというわ。
they would feast on their kidnapped sacrifices, which is why the nights came to be known as Watanagashi. Watanagashi. Tonight's festival was Watanagashi. I just couldn't reconcile the fun festival with the horrible tale Takano-san was telling me.
綿流しは確か
Watanagashi, well, wasn't it
冬の間に使った布団なんかに感謝するお祭りじゃなかったでしたっけ？
wasn't it about giving thanks to the futons we use over the winter or something?
ケイちゃん、
Kei-chan.
綿って言いません？
Wata has another meaning, you know.
臓物のこと。
It means entrails. Shion, who had been silent up until now, spoke up.
綿？
Entrails?
そういえば言うな。
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
魚の綿っていう。
Like fish guts.
え？
Wait, what? Like a jigsaw puzzle, the fun times I had today and Takano-san's grotesque tale clicked together in my mind.
綿流し。
Watanagashi. So, gut spilling. I didn't think saying that could ever feel so nauseating.
そう、
Yes,
前原君の想像している通りよ。
it's as you imagine, my Barakun.
今でこそ綿流しは毎年6月に行われるちょっと早い夏祭りに過ぎないけど、昔は違った。
Right now, the Watanagashi Festival might just be a somewhat early summer festival occurring every June, but it used to be different.
哀れな食材をさらってきた夜にだけ開かれた凄惨な人食いの宴のことだったの。
It used to be a ghastly cannibalistic feast, held on the night the villagers had collected their unfortunate dinner.
嘘だ。
That can't be true. I had no real reason to say that. I couldn't help it.
前原君はさっき綿流しは布団を清める儀式だと言ったわね。
My Barakun, you said that Watanagashi is a ritual about purifying futons, right?
綿が詰まった布団って何を意味してると思うかしら。
What do you think the futons filled with cotton, with wata, represent?
布団は布団だろ。
Futons are futons.
寝具。
They're beds.
寝るための道具だよ。
The things for sleeping in.
他に何の意味があるんだよ。
What else could they possibly represent? I was rattling on, desperately attempting to deny the horrible festival that Takano-san was describing. Deep down, however, I found myself understanding all too well what she meant. Futons stuffed with cotton. The cotton represented entrails in both pronunciation and meaning. An entrail-filled futons had to be humans.
では、リカちゃんがやった奉納演舞を思い出してちょうだい。
Why don't you think back to the offertory dance Rika-chan performed?
リカちゃんがあそこで何をしていたか。
You know what she was doing up there?
わからねえよ。
No, I don't.
第一、リカちゃんの演舞は最後までちゃんと見てないし。
I didn't even watch the whole thing anyway. Ah, back up.
ケイちゃん、エキサイトしすぎです。
Kei-chan, you're getting too worked up. She ungrabbed one of my ears, reminding me that this wasn't somewhere I should be raising my voice. Even so, I still can't suppress this agitation I feel.
リカちゃんが持っていた祭事用のクワ。
Rika-chan was carrying a festival hoe.
もううすうすは気づいてると思うけど、あれは田畑を耕すクワではなくて、
You've probably realized it already, but it's not a hoe for plowing fields.
人間の腹をこじ開けるための解剖道具なのよ。
It's a tool for dissecting human bodies. I'm gonna need this for the thumbnail. I didn't see the dance all the way through, so I don't know what kind of performance Rika-chan was putting on after I'd left. When I told this to Takano-san, she kindly explained Rika-chan's dance to me. To summarize what she said, after what I'd seen, Rika-chan would pierce the futons with that hoe, cut them open, and pull out the cotton inside. She cut the cotton out one bit at a time and set it afloat. That's the kind of ritual it was.
平たく言えば、魚の綿を取り出して三角コーナーに捨てるのを仰々しく儀式仕立てにしたってことね。
Broadly speaking, it was quite the bombastic ceremony where they'd rip out the guts and throw them into a basin.
それで儀式はおしまい。
And then the ritual was over.
その後はそれぞれの役割を持った村人たちがおのおのに肉を解体して美味しくいただいたって考えられてるわね。
It's thought that afterwards the villagers, each with a different role, dismantled the flesh piece by piece and feasted upon it. What's so funny? At Takano-san's strangely happy giggle, I felt, for some reason, violent displeasure. Rika-chan. Every day during our lunch break, she'd take a rice-pounding mallet into the schoolyard. She'd work so hard, sweating bullets to practice for the offertory dance she had done today. All that effort, all that work, Takano-san disgraced it. Even though she worked so hard to practice for today.
高野さんももう少し言葉を選んでほしいです。
Takano-san, I think you should choose your words more carefully.
ケイちゃん、ナイーブなんですから、あまりからかわないでください。
Kei-chan's pretty naive, so don't tease him too much. Hey, I'm... No, I'm not. Almost before I opened my mouth to express how angry I was, Shion stopped me. Shion must have been fully aware of how that story made me feel.
ごめんなさ
I'm
い。
sorry.
男の子だからショッキングな話は結構好きかと思って。
I thought you'd like a story with that sort of shock value since you're a boy. Takano-san spoke without a hint of malice as she smiled gracefully.
この辺まで話を聞けば、ケイちゃんにもこの最後伝の中にどういうものがあるのか理解できるようになってきませんか？
After hearing all that, did you figure out what kind of stuff is in the storehouse, Kei-chan?
ほら。
See, look. Shion pointed out one of the walls vaguely illuminated by the lantern's light. There was. Mere moments ago, they hadn't held my interest. They were just boring-looking tools lined up on the shelves. Oh, joy. All those interesting tools that I didn't understand how to use. They all suddenly took on a new meaning, and I couldn't help but let out a groan. At first, they had looked like carpentry tools, like chisels or planes. However, when I thought back, I'd seen pictures of these sort of tools before. Yeah, they came up in a Japanese history textbook. Yes, on the page introducing the Kaitai Shinsho, or the new text on anatomy.
こういうのはね、
These sorts of
医
things,
学の本場ドイツの文献の方がリアルに掲載されてるわよ。
they're printed realistically in the literature of Germany, capital of the medical world. These aren't carpentry tools. These strangely shaped tools are for dissection. Everyone knows that in the Edo period, they would dissect the corpses of those who had been put to death in order to gain knowledge about Western medical techniques. Illustrations of the dissection tools they used at the time came up in textbook supplements. Things hung up on this wall all looked exactly the same as those.
もっと怖い言い方をするなら、調理道具といったところかしらね。
If you want a scarier way of looking at it, think of them as cooking utensils. I don't think I want to. Takano-san, holding the lantern, the only light source in the room, led us along the wall. She had the only light, so I had to walk after her whether I liked it or not.
ほら、
Look. Takano-san illuminated a coiled chain which left a bigger impression than the other things we saw. The chain in itself was nothing unusual. Further along were metal fetters that were like hinges, clearly meant for binding people.
ケイちゃん、
Hey-chan,
あれ、
look at that. Shion tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to the restraining table that was clearly shaped like a person. My spine froze. My blood felt like it was turning into sherbet as it crawled at my back. In each of the joints, there were things like chains and iron balls attached. It was like the table was searching for its next sacrifice, ready to spread their arms wide and close them in.
多分まな板じゃないかしら。
It's probably a chopping block. That's awesome.
犠牲者を拘束してこの台の上でお料理をしたんだと思うわね。
I think you'd strap the sacrifice down to prep them for eating. That's awesome. The words chopping block sent a jolt through my body. When I looked more closely, there were many dark slices carved into it, as though from a knife or a saw. They're the most clear-cut signs of usage you could ask for. It proved these tools weren't just for show. They were used for their original purpose. If someone was strapped tightly onto this table, they probably wouldn't even be able to move even a muscle. The guts would be defenseless. You take one of those eerie cooking knives lined up over there, stab them with it. Then you'd slice them on their belly and dissect them. You good? No!
すごい。
I'd heard the stories, but this is incredible. Before coming in here, Shion had mentioned she had a good guess of what was inside. It seemed to have exceeded her imagination.
まだまだあるわよ。
Still more.
どう？
How about it?
老人形館より面白いでしょ。
More fascinating than a wax museum, isn't it? Takano-san had this happy expression like she was visiting a toy store for the first time. I don't get it. This Mio Takano person has nerves of steel. Are these bizarre, grotesque objects that fascinating to her? I, for one, was not enjoying myself. I'll be frank, this was all too weird for me. Still, there was something even more horrifying than all this. That would be none other than Takano-san herself. Takano-san, holding the lantern and giving off such a thin beam of light, she suddenly turned it off. And what would I do when the next moment everything went totally dark? That's why I was scared. Takano-san had the only light, and anyway I was scared. At some point, she ended up start holding onto my shirt sleeve. It was a little annoying to walk like that, but I didn't shake her off. That minor sensation allowed me to feel the presence of an ally here and now. Before we even walked halfway through the storehouse, there I felt on my skin come changed completely. These cruel tools lined up, all crammed together in this place. Some were horrible ones to take away Sacrifice's freedom, and some were tools made to efficiently disassemble and prepare the bodies for consumption. Those were just the things I understood. There were plenty of other strange-looking objects that I couldn't even guess the purpose of. Now that I was here, I didn't have the slightest desire to hear the details, or what sort of terrifying reasons they were meant to be used for. At the very least, they were all completely different from the sort of clean, simple killing function of a katana. Tools to kill people were, obviously, constructed in such a way that they could kill people. If that was the goal, then the person who used them on would obviously end up dead. The kinds of tools here, however, were different. Tools that were here were for cutting people, for crushing them, for boiling them and cooking them, and for grinding them. They were tools of torture. They weren't made to kill people. People dying was just an incidental result. Actually, they might not even kill them. If the sacrificer could die during such a horrifying ritual process, that'd be nice, but they don't even die in the end. They remain in a state of hellish pain, as they're only being allowed to live. Only now, in this moment, did I fully realize just how terrifying and fearsome that difference was. People, you see. Most of these wouldn't kill them if used properly. Takano-san, as if reading my mind, displayed a shocking smile. Burning at the stake, the famous method of execution for witches, will kill the person immediately. When the body suffers extreme burns on the skin all over, the decomposition of the skin's chemical makeup produces poison-like symptoms and causes an immense shock to the victim. Though I suppose it's still very cruel. Compared to the guillotine, you have to wait far longer for that to happen. She describes such horrors in a strangely medical way. Shion immediately answered the question I had. Takano-san is a nurse. There's a saying that nothing can scare a doctor. I guess it's true. Oh, and also, there's a method of execution in ancient Rome where they would grill the person. Just like a barbecue. They would cover the person in wire netting and slowly cook them over a charcoal fire. I think the memories of when I went to a day camp with my family come rushing back now of all time so vividly. That's what it was like. Apparently they wouldn't die too easily for some reason.
ものの本によると、一昼夜かけて片側が炭化するくらいこんがり焼いても、まだ意識があって流暢に話をしたなんて記述も出てくるから。
According to one source, even if they roasted one side of a person to a crisp for an entire night, they would still be conscious and able to speak fluently. That's insane. You'd grill someone the whole day and they'd still be conscious. It's said that ancient Rome, famous for their executions, thought of plenty of ways to execute someone while having the victim stay alive as long as possible. Among them,
腸をウインナーみたいに引っ張り出してウィンチで引っ張り上げて晒し物にする系があったんですって。
there was one method where they would open the gut, pull out the intestines like sausages, pull them up with a winch, and put them on public display. She sounds way too happy talking about this kind of stuff. Shion was behind me, clinging to me. Not just because she was scared. She was protecting her stomach.
臓物を引っ張り出すなんて聞いただけでもすぐに死んじゃいそうでしょ。
You would think someone with their intestines pulled out would die instantly, right?
でもね、
Actually,
丁寧に優しくやるとね、
as long as you do it tenderly and thoroughly,
意識がはっきりとした状態のまま腹渡を引きずり出すことって可能らしいのよ。
it's apparently possible to pull them all out while the person is still conscious. I felt a sick feeling in my stomach. It's like my organs were coiling up just from Takano-san's stare.
ウィンチで引っ張り出すっていうのはなんだか大行な方法だけど、
Though pulling them out with a winch was a rather exaggerated method.
もっと野蛮に裂いた腹から臓物をちぎっては投げちぎっては投げという。
In a more barbaric way, they might slice open the gut, then cut the intestines out and throw them everywhere.
そんな恐ろしい系もあったんじゃないかって十分に考えられない？
It's quite imaginable that they did dreadful things like that too, isn't it? You know, Takano, I was gonna eat after this stream.
でも
Because I was hungry.
には意識があるの。
However, those being put to death are conscious.
それは痛い以上に恐ろしい体験なんでしょうね。
It must be far more terrifying than painful. She spoke with pleasure as if she had come here on a sightseeing trip. I heard Shion gulping multiple times near my ears.
ひなみ沢の、いえ、鬼ヶ淵村の綿流しもそんな感じだったのかしらね。
Perhaps Hinamizawa, or rather Onigafuchi village, did something like that for the Watanagashi festival.
ほら、
Listen,
耳を澄ませば聞こえてくるような気がしない？
if you try hard, can't you hear it? I wanted nothing more than to hear nothing at all. So why? Why only at times like these do I begin to hear things I shouldn't be able to? Takano-san, having realized she'd scared Shion and I enough at this point, smiled soothingly. Then, she turned on her heel, raised the lantern, and began to walk again. If Takano-san left us here, we'd get even further away from the light. Shion and I, no matter how scared we were forced to follow Takano-san along on a field trip through the ritual storehouse. I suppose we've seen a bit of everything. See? Place is interesting, isn't it? She says, raising the lantern high in the center of the storehouse. The dim lighting didn't change, but for some reason I felt like I was able to see all those horrible tools at once. Kei-chan, look up. Shion stammered while grabbing the nape of my neck. I couldn't tell because it was so dark, but there were a lot more tools hanging from the ceiling as well. They all looked like they were made of iron bars, but then I figured it out. Cages. They're cages, they're very small. Cramped cage is just for one, like a casket. Got locked up in there. No, you wouldn't get locked up inside it. There's another tool meant for restraining people, where the iron bars would squeeze you tightly. All the So many big and large things of all shapes were hanging down. Takano-san's mention of an execution by grilling crosses my mind. We weren't just surrounded on all sides by these terrifying instruments. Things caught in the ceiling were even hanging over our heads. Don't worry about it, Axel. The stream's about to end anyway. I've been just looking for a good point to stop. We've been streaming for like an hour longer than normal. So, stream's probably going to be over not long after you leave. But good night. There are many of these sorts of bird cages among European torture devices. I'm surprised to see them in Japan as well. I wanna leave. Hey, Chen. Is there something in there? A person? Mummy? Where? Shion desperately pointed to one of the many human-sized bird cages hanging from the ceiling, but I couldn't tell which one she meant. Being that dark, there wasn't any way you could tell if something was there in the first place. I don't see anything. Sure you're not seeing things? Shion didn't seem convinced, but without a means to confirm for ourselves, we couldn't do much but wonder. Maibara-kun, after seeing this, have you come to believe in all of it? The countless terrible rituals passed down in Hinamizawa. It's got nothing to do with believing in them. Now that I've been shown the real thing like this, there's no possible way to deny it. Even the nations of Europe, with all their beautiful landscapes and legends, were like a maelstrom during the terrible witch hunts in the Dark Ages. It's well known that the era gave birth to countless gruesome forms of torture and execution. Japan was the same way. Didn't it have its own era of hellscape like torturous feasts because of religious suppression and things of that nature? Hinamizawa itself had such a period. It had that much history behind it. Even in Europe, land of the witch hunts, it was all far in the past, no more than a series of historical events. In this age, nothing that abnormal would ever happen. It must apply to Hinamizawa as well. Just as Europe had its Dark Age, Hinamizawa had one too. That's how this should be taken. Even if these things... Sorry, Keiichi. Even if these things all really happened in Hinamizawa, they're all long past. They don't have anything to do with the people living in Hinamizawa right now. Maibara-kun, you really do like this village. It didn't sound like she was making fun of me. Takano-san gave me a light smile.
でも、高野さんはその風習が実は現代にも残っているんじゃないかと思って研究をしてるんです。
Takano-san, you're researching whether these customs survived into the present.
そうでしたよね。
You are, right? Shion suggested something that made my heart leap into my throat. You're telling me that all these horrible things are still going on even today?
これ、本当に内緒なんだからね。
You know, maybe this is a bad time to end it, but I think we've been streaming for long enough, and we'll get to learn more next time. How about that? God, that stream went on a long time. Oh my god, that went on a long time. It's really getting good. It's really getting bad. It's really getting bad. I don't like when we learn stuff. It upsets me. Nighty night? Absolutely. No, it's Tuesday now, but it was Monday when we started. Well, I'll say it all the time, but we did have some new viewers here tonight, I think. here and there. So, like, I'll say just if any of those people are still watching, or if they go back to watch the rest of the VOD if they left. But our typical streaming schedule is Monday and Thursday are Higurashi. So on Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Central Time, we'll be doing Higurashi again. We'll continue where we left off. And Saturdays is typically Dark Souls at the same time. I didn't do Dark Souls last week because I was hanging out with my girlfriend, so I didn't want to stream. And that might happen sometimes. Sometimes I'm busy doing other stuff and I don't stream. This isn't my job. I don't make money off this. I have like less than 300 subscribers, so. But anyway, catch us next time on Thursday if you want to see more Higurashi. But I'm gonna now go, because we've been streaming long enough and my back hurts. I'll catch you all on Thursday. Good night.